rescued by your own country. So that's what it kind of sounds like there with the remaining what is it, tech engineer or technician, whatever the navigator. It's like I said, it's two folks on the aircraft. I don't know if I got it. I got an F-15 around here. I got models from every damn all of our models we fly. I don't know if you can see it now. This model here only has one individual in it, but some of them have another pilot sitting behind. And that pilot can control the weapon systems, navigation systems, and all that. That's the guy that's missing. So they both ejected out of the aircraft. Kind of like you guys seen the movie Top Gun with Tom Cruise and Goose. Goose was the navigator. That's what Goose was doing. Maverick was the pilot, and Goose was the navigator. And you see what happened to Goose when he ejected. Now, it sounds like most folks who eject do not perish like Goose did in the first Top Gun. But like I said, you can be seriously injured during an ejection. You can be seriously injured doing that. And they said they said the pilot was injured. They didn't say to what degree, but he was injured, but they were able to rescue the pilot. Oddly enough, and thank you for that, Sexy Red, for that TikTok cap. When they went to do a rescue mission, I think they sent over a couple helicopters, because they got, you can't rescue somebody in a plane. So they sent over a couple of helicopters, and the helicopters took small arms fire. And apparently some of the soldiers on the helicopters got shot. But once again, they haven't stated any casualties. But this is what I'm hearing in the news. So when they performed a rescue mission, the folks in the helicopters were getting shot up. Small arms fire will go right through a lot of helicopters, unless you're flying, like some of the gunships that are meant to be armored. But I think like Black Hawks and stuff like that they would use, I don't think those things are bulletproof. So I believe they've stated, I believe gunfire will go right through those things. And I'm talking small arms fire, AK-47 stuff. But anyway, they did say on the news that some of the helicopter crew or the soldiers that were on it maybe have been performing a rescue. Some of them got wounded with small arms fire. So and I see somebody in the comments is stating that an A-10, an A-10 and an A-10 Warhawk. I got one of those up on the wall here. I don't feel like reaching back, but an A-10 Warhawk also got shot down. It's odd that this stuff is happening because, President Trump made it sound like this was damn near impossible. I'll give you what I'm talking about. President Trump, just some of the statements he makes, some of the things he says on social media they give you so much confidence. But is the confidence accurate?
Truth Social. Perhaps the key line is the first sentence. We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. And he seems to say American equipment is overcoming Iranian defenses. CNN.
That's a tweet or a post from Trump. Does that appear to be so? Ever since Trump became president and started the military incursions into Iran, he's been painting a really rosy picture of confidence. I'm okay with rallying the troops and getting American patriotism up, but it should be based on factual information. Giving folks positive stories that is not based on reality only sets them up for future heartbreak. It kind of reminds me of during the pandemic when Trump said it would be gone by April. And then, of course, in April, people were getting sick and dying all over the place, and there's no explanation for why you said it would be gone by April. So I'm fine with giving positive information and painting things in a positive light, but it has to be based on reality. Don't just tell folks something to cheer them up, because remember, this whole thing started with Trump saying it would be over with in about 2 to 3 weeks. Now we're a month later and he's saying it'll be over with in 4 to 6 weeks. So just giving positive information that's not based on reality really leads to ultimate heartbreak. But I do want to ask you folks, do you support the Iranian war. And I see in the comments, Mick 1953 says freedoms aren't free. You know, the problem with that is there's a lot of free countries around the world, and they're not paying a heavy price that America is constantly paying in the name of freedom. Freedom is not free. You certainly got my vote on that. It's not free. But that does not mean you have to go around assuming unnecessary or unrealistic cost. I don't think most Americans felt that without the invasion of Iran, our freedom would be in danger. Or even Iraq, for those who, we want to go back 20 plus years or whatever. I mean, let me just ask it to you before we start taking calls and going into the comment section. Simple question by way of yes or no in the comments. How many of you feel safer now that we have invaded Iran? How many of you feel safer now than you did, let's say, a month and a half ago before this? If you feel safer now that we have invaded Iran, yes or no in the comments. Do you feel safer now that we've done this? Because this is what we're being told. This is fighting for our freedom. President Trump indicated that we're safer because of this. How many of you feel safer now that this is happening? Let's see in the comments. Rick said, are you calling your president a liar? Rick Young, well, I'm simply saying if what he is saying doesn't come true and is not based on any information, then yeah. He said the war will be over in 2 to 3, 4 weeks. Who told him that? Because all the generals and analysts on television are making it clear it won't even be over in the 4 to 6 weeks he's telling us now. So who's giving him it? Who's giving him that information? It does appear, and thank you, Trucker Man, appreciate that. It does appear as if he's just making this stuff up. Have you seen any analysts on television in a military uniform or with a military background suggesting that this would be over with in 2 to 4 weeks, other than maybe Pete Hegseth? Have you seen anyone else saying that? So, yeah, it does appear as if Trump is painting a picture that's not based on any sort of intelligence or analysis being provided to him. So it is what it is. Anyway, so for you guys, the question being asked, do you feel safer, yes or no? I just want to look in the comments and see. I do see Rick Young, by the way, said yes, and so did Charles McClure. I don't know. Were you expecting Iran to attack the United States mainland? Now, listen, I can agree or understand where you're coming from if you regularly visit the Middle East. But if you're a person that lives in the United States, the lower 48, and you don't have any plans on going to the Middle East, and you're suggesting you feel safer because of this, then that means you expected Iran to bomb the mainland United States. Just asking. I'm just simply saying that's the only way you wouldn't be safe if you're living here on the main 48. The only way you would feel this is making us safer is if you thought somehow, some way they were going to come here and strike us. Looks like most of the folks on TikTok are saying no. I did see a couple folks. The safety of all Gulf countries is cooked. Well, yeah, right now that is true. Stop yelling. You're so irritating. Well, you can tune it out, Hard to Please. Nothing I can do with a name like Hard to Please. I can understand why you're complaining. Are groceries great again? No, they're not. Freedom did defend it, huh? We're going to have to watch our backs for decades. Perry, I wish I could disagree with you. I wish I could. Yes, freedom is not free, but Trump has put a bullseye on America. Wow. And you know something, the crazy thing is, all of the NATO member nations didn't come to help. Bahrain just had a security issue today. The nation of Bahrain received credible threats from the Iranians that because they allowed the United States to use their air bases, they have a bullseye on them. So they had to up their level of security because there were credible threats coming from inside the nation of Bahrain. I'm just bringing this up because the NATO member nations that chose not to get involved with this, they probably are not going to be worried about Iran striking them because they stood up and said, I ain't got nothing to do with this. So chances are when there are Iranian sympathizers creating mayhem because of what's going on, those NATO member nations are probably going to be excluded from it. They're probably not going to get hit because they defied the United States and they didn't participate. Spain told America, you can't use you can't use our runways and our bases to launch that attack. Trump won off on Spain publicly. But as I just stated, when there are terrorist sympathizers deciding to take revenge for what's going on now, a year from now, 5 years from now, Spain probably won't get hit from this. They probably won't be involved in it. So it is what it is. Anyhow, this is Friday Night Politics. We're going to certainly talk about this topic, but we're going to open the show to whatever you want to discuss politically tonight. This is kind of a free-for-all. We do this often on Friday nights. F-15 shot down an A-10 Warthog, an attack plane. The double engine, much slower aircraft usually provides ground support. That was shot down around the same time the story of the F-15. So they shot down 2 American jets today. The pilot of the A-10 was immediately rescued. So the only person missing right now seems to be the navigator from the F-15. And there are injuries. There were injuries in the rescue of the pilot. I believe there were injuries to the pilot that ejected as well. I don't know what the condition of the A-10 pilot that ejected or that went down is, but this is what's happening now. So the idea that they've been obliterated, they're shooting down fucking jets. So the idea that they've been obliterated doesn't seem to measure up. I mean, they don't have the technology that we have, but they ain't obliterated. They're not obliterated. They're shooting down fucking jets after, as Trump says, about a month and a half of consistent pummeling. And they still have enough equipment to take down high-performance F-15s. Like I said, it doesn't benefit anyone to give the American populace positive stories if they're not based on reality. You can't say you control their airspace and then a couple of days later they're shooting down jets. It looks like you don't know what you're talking about. Anyhow, let's get on with the program. You guys know how it's ran. We don't block, ban, or censor. Our program is MAGA friendly, always has been, always will be. Comments go left of Mom Donnie that I'm having dinner with Q. We don't black, ban, or censor anybody. As I always state, you can be critical of anybody on this program, including yours truly. So looking in the comments, sure write Trump a check out of his checkbook. What are you talking about? Now Trump wants, yeah, I heard about this. Says Sassy says now Trump wants $1.7 trillion more. No new wars, yet that much money in what was promised to be an America first environment is going to our military. You change the Secretary of Defense name to Secretary of War and literally measure up in every way, shape, and form to that term. He changed it to the Secretary of War, and they have essentially been constantly using the military to strike other countries ever since. And now they're asking for over $1 trillion to beef up the military budget. Nothing for you, nothing for me. Going to the box, we'll start 1.7 trillion. That is fucking insane. I'm just going to say it like that. That is insane. We'll start out with Miss Mo Better. Give the military what they. Hey, Miss Mo Better, I want to ask you something because in the comments, Sleeper 1969 says, "Give the military what they need." Period. Do you believe that we should operate in that manner? That whatever any president says the military needs, you should just fork it over without question?
Every president except this one.
That's not fair to Trump.
Why not? How many other presidents did you see get up there and lie like he did?
I mean, other presidents like George W. Bush, weapons of mass destruction. He lied.
Well, see, we thought he was the worst until Trump showed up anyway. So they're not much different.
Yeah, but I asked you, if a president asked for 1.7 trillion, should you just fork it over without questioning? You made it sound like, yeah, to any other president other than Trump, But under Bush, you would have forked it over.
No, not under him either.
Okay.
No. So the answer is no. We don't.
Okay.
We have to have an account of this stuff, because then you get up there on national TV and say we can't afford to take care of people in this country.
Yeah.
But yet it's America first. You're talking about we can't do daycare, we can't do Medicare, we can't do Medicaid, we can't do none of that stuff. This is what he said. And I don't want Trump, the Trump fans getting up here trying to twist what he said. He said exactly what he meant.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, where does the America first in this come from? Because beefing up the military is that well, I guess they could suggest that's protecting our freedom. I guess maybe they see America first from that way.
So where was our freedom in jeopardy at? I'll wait.
Well, Trump stated, had we not invaded, I'm just giving you what he said. This is paraphrasing, not an exact quote, but I can bring it up. He said, had we not attacked, not only would they have developed a nuclear bomb by now, they would have used it already.
You repeating that just like he repeated it from Netanyahu. That's where he got that from. And it's on video. It ain't got to listen. If they were going to attack us and do what they were going to do, how many years ago would that have happened? 30, 40, 50 years ago?
Well,
they've been singing this same song.
Well, what about the belief that they didn't attack us because they had not quite developed a bomb, and they were really close until Trump came along, played Superman, and obliterated their ambitions?
Okay, so if that is the case, if he obliterated, why is he asking for 1.something trillion more? Why?
Well, the regime change and putting folks on the ground.
And he said it had nothing to do with regime change, though. That's what he said, right?
Well, the problem with that is it depends on what day you ask. Because he has demanded regime change and that America should have some say so in who replaces.
So what would a regime change there do for us? Because we're asking for the same shit, a regime change.
Well, it would do a lot for us if Trump could get an America friendly regime in Iran. That would make him the most successful president. Well, kind of calming down the Middle East in our lifetime. You should have told him that before he started going around fucking with people. You should have told him that before he started making enemies of the allies. You should have told him that a while ago. Well, that sounds good in a fairy tale story. However, that's not the case here. That's not the case. Well,
he's already made our business bad.
Well, listen, the man is not only protecting us, we have our military in NATO member countries, so to some degree we're protecting them. The man likes to talk, but according to President Trump, we're protecting the world mostly at a cost to us.
How much did you pay for your gas today, Tim?
It ain't cheap.
How much did that bag of groceries cost you, Tim?
It ain't cheap.
How much did your electricity go up, Tim?
Well, I'm going to put on my MAGA hat and take the side of Trump and say a little bit more for groceries to stop a nuclear member nation. See, come on, listen, now.
This is why they say they be calling you the King Fluff around here. That is
There's
exactly
no fluffing.
Soon as you hold that MAGA hat and try to give him credit for some shit that he started, he wants to act like he's some type of savior here. You should have mind your fucking business in the beginning. Stay your ass out of shit. No, matter of fact, we need to if we cut off aid to Israel, we'd have a lot more money.
But what about what he stated? Is that, okay, you're paying a little bit more for groceries, you're paying a little bit more for fuel, but I am taking care of an enemy that has been a thorn in our side for nearly 50 years. Give me some goddamn credit. What about that?
No, them enemies, those so-called enemies that's been minding their business, they ain't been fucking with us. Even if they are they are harmful to their own people, we have that same issue here, Tim. We gotta stop. We gotta stop putting lipstick on a pig and calling it a Cinderella.
What do you mean they haven't been messing with us? Did you not hear about the Iranian hostage scandal, the bombing of the barracks in Beirut, USS Cole? They've been causing problems.
And when did all of that stuff take place?
A couple days ago. A few days ago. Just a few days ago.
Okay. So you got right now in these times, you got to expect shit like that to happen. That comes along with the territory. I'm sorry, Tim. You want to give him credit, but I'm sorry. I'm struggling to give it to him. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm giving him credit from a perspective of what if what he is saying is true. That's where I'm giving him credit. If what he is saying that Iran
was saying if it was true, what if frogs had wings? They wouldn't flop their ass on the ground, would they?
Perhaps not. But according to our president, who obviously has more access to intel than you or I, he suggests they were on the cusp of developing a nuclear bomb.
He over here still firing people. You see, it's about to begin. The same shit that was happening under his first regime is about to happen under this one. It's just now, I don't know why he's firing Pam Bondi right now, because she was sucking his nuts. I don't know why.
I don't get that one either. That's a bad termination. But what about this King's son or something that says Trump did what no president had the balls to do in 47 years. What say you?
Yeah, and guess what? That cost us more money, costing some soldiers' lives. What is he doing? What kind of balls are you referencing? Stupid, goofy, the fuck? Well, they must not have 401ks and shit like that. They must not have none of that shit. They must don't own homes.
Well, what the hell? Somebody don't like you. What we're?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. That won't be the first time.
Yeah. So, but what he is saying though, because you're talking 401k, you're talking grocery and gas prices, but at the end of the day, if he is literally saving you from possible annihilation from a nuclear member nation in Iran becoming an atomic nation, isn't it worth the short-term pain for long-term gain?
And that point, Tim, I'm still waiting to see what was obliterated. And y'all still got your asses over there. You sent more people over there now than it was originally. Where's the proof of anything that he says?
It takes a little time. Tim. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a little time.
It didn't take him a long time to fuck it up. I'll tell you that.
Well,
it didn't take that long for it to fuck it up, but it's going to take triple the time to get it back to the to level playing field. Just like any other Democrat always got to come in and clean up the shit of a fucking Republican.
How do they?
The last 11 recessions were done. 10 out of the 11 recessions were done by a Republican president. Look it up.
Yeah. Well, before you say that a Democrat's going to have to come in and clean it up. I want to ask you a question, but before I do, the handsome conservative says, "Welcome to the handsome liberal show. No, you're not dreaming. It's real. It's damn real." Yes, this is a real show. Handsome conservative, welcome to the program. So the Democrats are going to have to come and clean it up, says you, Ms. Mobetta.
Yeah.
If we're still at war, or better yet, at least our reputation will be damaged around the world, how do the Democrats clean up the fact that President Trump is told
a world tour going around having to apologize to people again? Again. We've seen this story before. Once Bush left office, it didn't change. Who's in charge changed. The regime changed. It's the same thing.
So you're saying, a la Barack Obama, proceed around the world to have an apology tour, just apologizing to nations.
I had to apologize to the entire damn world. And the agreement that he had with Iran, Trump canceled that. You know that, right? Trump got rid of the Iranian deal.
Yeah.
You know Trump did that, right, MAGA?
Yeah. Okay. Not only do MAGA know that Trump canceled the deal, they're happy he did it. They believe it was a dumbass deal.
Because they goofy as fuck. They goofy. Now, guess what? You put our people at risk for real. Right now, we all may be fighting for our freedom. Don't they have somebody captive right now?
Well,
allegedly.
Well, like Stevie D in the comments. Stevie D.
Tough? That's what you call tough?
Yeah, but Stevie D in the comments, he's MAGA. He says, yes, fuck Iran. So MAGA thought that deal was bad to begin with.
This is what they're failing to. It's not that we even cheering for them. They have their own shit going on. We got our own shit going on here. Do you see Iranians asking their people for 1 point something trillion to fight us?
Well, they don't.
Might be.
They don't have to ask. They take it. They don't have to ask. They take it.
But again, that's still not our business. We got shit over here to worry about.
Well, how about this one? In the comments on YouTube, Blowing Trees says all blacks enlist to fight Iran for Trump. You African American, you want me yourself? You wanna come help Trump out?
No, send MAGA. Stevie D, go suit up. You a military man, go suit up. Tell him you want to re-enlist or do whatever you want to do and go over there and fight this. Because not mine.
Well, I mean, once you're in, you're in. But you're right. I don't think it would be my. It ain't a conflict that I agree with either. And by the way, folks, tap the screen, get the likes on up to 20,000. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap.
It was after C. Kirk for that, right? Because he was saying what would happen in this point. If you go back, there's a video of him saying,
I played it. I've actually played it. Yes, Charlie Kirk was not a fan of that. And by the way, folks, tap the screen, get the likes on up, help your boy out with the TikTok cap and hat and mustache gold. But yes, Mr. Mobetta, there is video footage of Charlie Kirk making it clear that an invasion of Iran would be a terrible idea.
Would be an awful mistake for us. And that's when he was like, drill, baby, drill, because that's what Trump ran on. Drilling. We getting our own. You know what I'm saying? America first. We can't be the world's police. This is all stuff he said. We're not making this stuff up.
Well, it ain't. But Charlie Kirk at the time was only echoing what Trump was saying. When Charlie Kirk was making those statements, we can't be the world's police and attacking Iran would be a bad idea. Trump was saying the same thing back then.
Yeah,
Sexy Red, thank you.
Trump could say it, he couldn't. Apparently, he couldn't say it because again, now they talking about the bullet that came from the pew didn't even match.
Well, what are you trying to suggest? Somebody else as opposed Tyler Robinson, that young LGBTQ male from Utah, 22, I think he was. That individual is who took out Charlie Kirk.
It's not the suspect.
Yes, he is. He admitted it.
Okay.
They've been able to suggest. Here's the forensics on that. Apparently, when a round goes through the barrel of a rifle, it can actually be warped, whether it's from the ridges inside that makes the bullet spin or whatever. I mean, there are times when a bullet can come from a gun and after being warped through the firing process does not match the gun it just got shot from. The guy is on video, not on video, but he's on text messages and everything. He confessed to that.
No, he didn't.
He did. He was asked.
He is not the suspect.
Tyler Robinson didn't take out Charlie Kirk, is what you're saying.
No. And his wife knows it.
You talking about you taking a word of Erica Kirk?
Her ass around here mad because somebody did a parody, but talking about you forgave the man who killed your husband. Make that shit make sense. Man, you mad at a parody?
Appreciate that, Cedric.
That didn't even mention your name? Oh, the tears is, that's what I look like? Yeah, bitch.
Well, Erica Kirk, in my opinion, she is Grift City. She making a killing off of her man dying. Not to suggest they weren't going to make a lot of money as a power couple because Charlie Kirk was going places, but But now she got her freedom and she making the money. So
now that she's out and her energy is going to have to shift because she's in. Now we see her face. Before it was Charlie's face that you saw. Yeah. Why you think you understand what I'm saying? So now that the level of stuff changes when you're in front. Before she used to be in the background, getting all the donators and shit like that. That was her position when nobody really saw her. But then now that you see her face, like then Trump is trying to convince her to sue somebody. Bitch, shut your ass up, Trump.
Well, Trump has done very well with lawsuits.
And winning and losing, because he's losing like a motherfuckers in the courts.
He's losing in court for different types of legislation and executive orders.
That's bigger than him winning money, Tim. Legislation.
No, but what I'm saying is if he's telling Erica Kirk to put in a lawsuit, nobody wins lawsuits like Trump. You're talking about legislation he's losing. But in terms of lawsuits, he does very well.
So? That don't got shit to do with me. I'm worried about the legislation. That shit indirectly affects me and my life and how things when you making laws and shit like that has to do with the common man, not just him personally.
Yeah, but that's you and me. I'm talking about if I'm Erica Kirk, though. If I'm Erica Kirk and Trump tells me to sue somebody, that's great advice because he controls the government and can pull a hell of a lot of strings and make my lawsuit go through.
Yeah, he can cheat and lie and steal some shit again.
I mean, I'm hearing that the January 6th participants are suing because they got treated too rough. And they're going to win. They're going to win.
Didn't I tell you that he didn't have total immunity because he would have to testify on that shit too. You like I said, you be reading the wrong shit sometimes, Tim, or you read it and want me to get up here and act like a gangster grandma on your ass.
No, I'm telling you that January 6th participants are probably going to receive some kind of financial compensation. The family of Ashley Babbitt, I heard, got 30 mil.
Yeah.
So that man knows what he's talking about when he says put in a lawsuit. That man, that's good advice.
If you have all your cronies lined up, Tim, what you think is gonna happen?
All right, then.
They gonna.
So then give Trump. So then let's give Trump credit for giving.
I'm not
Trump.
giving him credit for shit. I even let you finish the sentence. Nope.
So you just have blind hatred for the man.
No, it's not blind hatred. He showed me who he was. I ain't blind by it. There's those ones that support him is blinded by it. I'm not. It's not blind hatred. My ass. He showed who he is. Sorry.
Well, he may have showed who he is, but that may have been who they were looking for. Somebody that was going to defend the nation.
Huh?
So they may have been looking for who he has shown himself to be. Somebody who was going to, after 47 years, stand up to Iran and defend the nation.
Bullshit, Tim. And this is a fluffy moment for your ass. This is a fluffy moment for your ass. No, because it ain't. It's again. If we went in there on our account, I'd say yes. But this had nothing to do with us. This is all BB. So we gonna stop that.
Well, BB's not involved in it. So do we really know this is on BB?
He don't have to be. He doesn't have to be. Send America. I told you who he was to him, right? Trump
said. Trump also says Bibi Netanyahu had nothing to do with this.
Bullshit. Come on, Tim. You believe what he said? Do you believe that?
I mean, it's possible.
Do you believe it? It's a yes or no. Okay.
Depends on what the definition of yes is. Look. I gotta move it on, but yeah, I do believe it. I believe it.
It's okay.
I do believe Israel has a little bit to do with it. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a smidgen. Just a smidgen.
Just a smidge. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, just a smidgen. All right, Miss Mobetta, you put me through the ringer today. No fluffing. Remember that.
Dressed anyway. I'll talk to you later.
Oh shit, we should have started with that. Anyway. I'm gonna turn the camera on. Anyway, tap the screen, folks. Get the likes on up. 25. What is that? Get us. I gotta put it. I tell you, I cannot see these fucking screens. They're so small up there. Get us up to 25,000. Y'all can make that happen. Wow, the fluffing tonight, says Cardinal. Come on, Cardinal. The Pope is on TV. There's no fluffing in here. We're talking about defending this great nation. We're talking about President Trump taking the responsibility that apparently no other commander-in-chief wanted to do, and that is finally ousting an evil regime. Is that not a good thing? If what he did is true, is that not a good thing? The man said that if he had not invaded Iran, they would have a nuclear weapon by now, and they would have used it. So if what he is saying is true, then he has essentially defended the freedom and safety of a lot of Americans, which is why I asked you in the beginning of the show, do you not feel safe? Anyway, looking in the comments, tap the screen. Certainly get the likes on up to 25. We'll take the next caller at 25,000. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap and mustache. You know what we always say. Support the program, as Handsome Conservative would say. In the comments, they literally destroyed the Capitol building and held Congress hostage. What the fuck? Well, some folks believe they were doing it in a patriotic sort of way. I'll leave it at that. Tim, you are smarter than that to believe that bullshit. What am I believing that I shouldn't be? Thank you, Love to Cruise. Yeehaw! Squale, I think that says no, it's not that they didn't want to do, but it's because they never needed to. Well, you know, something, this would be a time for maybe Obama or Biden or one of them to come forward and state that we had no intelligence suggesting that Iran was about to develop a nuclear weapon. If what Trump has stated is not true, some of them past presidents that Trump is bashing for doing nothing should come up and look. I don't believe they can get in trouble for saying that, can they? I don't know. But he's bashing the hell out of them. So if they want to defend their legacy, one of them should come forward and say, look, there was nothing on my watch that suggested that Iran was anywhere near as far along as our president is suggesting. I mean, because he's bashing them as people who decided to do nothing. Yashi 504 says none of this will make sense to people who think short term. The ramifications of this benefiting us in the future is massive. So what he is suggesting, what Yashi is suggesting is by Trump taking out Iran, short-term pain, higher gas prices, maybe a reduced quality of our reputation worldwide, but long-term, we could have a lot more influence in the Middle East. We could have a lot less of a threat from a evil regime, if you want to believe that. So long term, this could turn out well for the United States. That is what Yashi 504 is stating. In the comments here, real quick, before TikTok or Substack, follow the program. I see CBOG Kush has now took that fucking hashtag stop the fluffing, and now it's so in Substack. You guys are going to make me go viral in the worst sort of way. We don't block, ban, or censor. I appreciate the input, but damn, I hope that doesn't go viral. In the comments here, stop the fluffing. Do you guys know what a fluffer is? You would understand why I'm saying it. If you really genuinely know what a fluffer is, you'd understand why I'm saying that. Continuing on with the program, though. You're wrong, Tim, says Mr. Splackaville. Do people know that Trump is out on bail on the state level? Yeah, he is, isn't he? But did they, wait a minute, no, but he was on bail for the Alvin Bragg case, right? Didn't they drop that? Didn't he get that case dropped or something like that? I do remember the bail because he had trouble raising it. I don't know, but I do believe he will face additional state charges after his presidency is up. I do believe that. In the comments, though, the Outsiders says, yes, the case was dropped. So if the case is dropped, he's no longer out on bail. Play dropped the case because it didn't have any merit, says Rick Young. I don't know if I can feel confident saying the case didn't have any merit. I believe they threw the book at him, gave him 34 felonies or whatever. I don't believe he was innocent of what they charged him with. I just believe they charged him with stuff that they normally might not charge. Let's say, for instance, you're going to the store and you walk across the street in the middle of the block to the store on the other side. You go in there, you buy something in the store, maybe a pack of gum or something. You come out, you open up the gum, you throw the wrapper on the ground, and then you walk back across to the other side. And all of a sudden, a police comes up to you and gives you 2 jaywalking tickets and a littering ticket. You're not innocent of any of that shit. It's just a bunch of charges that normally they don't give you, but you're not innocent. And I do believe that's where Trump falls. I don't believe he is innocent of those 34 felonies. I believe that normally they would first of all, they would compress all that into one charge. And then they would probably give you a fine or some kind of easy way to plea out on it or something. They stretched it out and charged him with each one individually, and they went for trying to give him the max on all of it. That happens to people all the time, man. That ain't something unique to Trump. People get charged with shit that normally nobody charges folks with all the time. It's just a lot of people like Trump, so they don't want it to happen to him. But look at what's going on with the immigration deportation stuff going on. Tap the screen, get us up to 25,000. We'll take the next caller. And I see in the comments, Tay said it happened to me. Yeah, look it was happening in Ferguson, Missouri, where they had all of those Black Lives Matter protests. And they found out they were handing out discretionary jaywalking tickets and shit to black citizens all over the fucking place. But the immigration deportation stuff that's going on right now is a perfect example of that, where they're digging up crimes that people committed 20 years ago and deporting them for it. They're doing that right now. They're literally, the Trump administration is doing that right now. Had a military vet, served a full term in the military. Here, 100% legal. They deported him because he had a DUI. Just revoked his green card and kicked him out. So it's happening. Trump ain't the only one it's happening to. Trump is doing it to other people. Go figure. But looking in the comments, we'll continue on. And like I said, tap the screen, get us up to 25. It's about time the American people pick a normal person to be president. I don't know, like you, why not? Jack Frost, normal people don't have money. And you need a lot of money to become president. Normal people don't have a bunch of rich friends that are going to flood their coffers with money. You can, if you're good enough, you can do it Bernie Sanders way, where you're getting a whole bunch of small dollar donations, but that is the hardest way to do that shit. That is not easy to do at the presidential level. Where one Elon Musk giving Trump $350 million, you realize how many small dollar donations it take to pull that off? One dude gave him $350 million. You raising $5 and $10, $20 here, it'll take forever to equal what Elon Musk did. And I don't believe that's the only money that Elon Musk gave Trump, but he did give him $350 million. That ain't easy to do running for president. You're gonna be on buses and planes and town halls all over the goddamn place trying to equal that. Is Kristi Noem trans? No. Mr. Noem might be trans, but Kristi Noem is a woman. I can't speak for Mr. Noem. It's about what it says here. The law is the law, just like MAGA days illegal. That is a good point. Is that when it comes to deportations, MAGA says the law is the law. I don't care if it's a grandmother that's been here for 50 years. She broke the law. She's here illegally. She must go. Well, if that's the case, then those 34 felonies on Trump, the law is the law. Because a lot of folks are suggesting that, well, there's no victim. That's the law, though. You broke the law. The law is the law. But like I stated, a lot of folks like Trump, favor Trump, so they want to give him some kind of special provision that they would not give a lot of other folks. But he did break some laws. Anyway, let me go back to the box. I see Mike says I'm at about 90% accuracy. That's hella accurate. Adam, don't know what happened there. Adam, are you there?
I'm here.
Yes. Good evening.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Do you support the ongoing conflict?
No, absolutely not, brother. Let me just give you perhaps a bit of a preamble before I speak. I am a proud American citizen that was naturalized when I was young. And I think one of the things I understood as an American is that I would hold my government accountable. There are many contradictions, many lies that are being spread. And what we need to do is we need to make sure that we save the lives of our American men and women serving in the military. Some of the contradictions is, Trump says, we have changed the regime. That is incorrect. If anything, we had paid so far $200 billion to take out senior Khamenei, and then we'll put in place junior.
But that is a change, though. The original regime is dead. Now his son is probably going to be even more far to the right now that you killed his father, but he is a different leader than his dad was. They did kill off the regime.
No, because when we're talking about a regime does not rest on one individual. What the regime rests is the ideology of the regime and how it could be a threat to the United States. So regardless of who you take out, brother, the regime is still there. We're talking about, Trump says, we're going to get sick and tired of winning. That is not the case. We're paying about $4 per gallon at the gas stations. He said something about, we're going to end this war within 3 days or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. That's not the case. He keeps on extending the war. He said the Iranian missiles are dismantled. That is not correct. The Iranians continue to shoot missiles. In fact, just this morning, the Iranians have shot down an F-15, and we have two of our pilots currently missing.
F-15 F-15 and an A-10 attack aircraft.
Exactly, brother. Not only that, but he said, we don't need any help, but he goes and begs NATO for help, and then he calls them cowards. Iran said, Iran is begging for a deal. That's not correct. Iran is not even opening the door for negotiations. In fact, he's begging Iran for a deal. We're talking about, freeing the Iranian people, yet we are currently booming their infrastructure. He's talking about, like the world economy is going to continue to thrive. Yet the Iranians are charging $2 million per barrel. Not only that, but they're selling oil using the yuan. So we have now a threat against our dollar. I can go on, brother, and on and on and on. But
it's crazy. It's crazy that all of the stuff you said has happened in like the last 6 weeks. I mean, all of those things he said, they're going back and forth, or when the contradictions, some might say they're lies or whatever, or exaggerations. All of that stuff is about. All of that was said in about 6 weeks. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah. Brother, about timelines, we keep on saying that Iran has been a threat to us for the past 47 years. That is completely incorrect. We've had history with Iran since 1953 when we overthrew the democratically elected president. And the only reason why we overthrew him while he was democratically elected is because he wanted to nationalize oil of Iran. So no, we don't go back to 1979. If anything, if we're going to mention 1979, what we need to do is we need to go back to 1953. And that's when it started. We didn't only stop there.
Let me ask you something. Now, you're a naturalized citizen. Where's your heritage?
I'm Turkish.
Turkish, okay. Because I see Cedric in the comments says you sound like you're from. So you are from the Middle East, though. You're from Turkey,
yes,
though.
Sir, I am.
Right.
Yes,
yeah. Now, do you still have any connection at all with Turkey? Do you, family you still keep in contact with or anything?
Yes, there is some family, but my family has come to the States since 1970. I served in Afghanistan. I've lost a cousin in Iraq. So yeah, not only that, but actually my aunt delivered Obama's second baby. She was the family of GYN. So yeah, so I have a top secret clearance, and so when I speak, I honestly speak from a corner of patriotism, because I do like to hold my government accountable when they make mistakes, and this is the biggest debacle in the history of.
What was your opinion on the Afghan and Iraq conflicts?
Well, so here's the thing about Iraq and Afghanistan. By the way, we have a history of toppling governments and having to go into countries where it's none of our business. So when it comes to Afghanistan, if we think that we're there to get rid of the Taliban or Al Qaeda, no, that's a mistake. The first thing that we did is we took over the opium fields in Afghanistan. Not only that, but we were there to make sure that we not only surround Iran from the West, but to surround Iran from the East as well. And I can go on and on. As far as Iraq is concerned, once again, Iraq was never really our war, nor were they a threat to us. We said they have weapons of mass destruction. That was proven to be wrong. Again, brother, like if I was to give you a list of all the wars the United States has had, it'd be crazy. I want to say one more thing, because I don't want to take a lot. I want to allow other people to join this panel. But one of the things that you have said, brother, is, how the Iranians attacked the barracks and unalived individuals in the American embassy. Brother, I can definitely give you the sources. And my source is actually from naval officers that served in Beirut in Lebanon. If I tell you, it's going to shock you. It was us that boomed the Lebanese people.
Oh, come on. You had me going in. Wait a minute. You're saying America killed its own folks?
Yeah, no. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
What I'm saying is, when we talk about certain events in our history and how we were attacked, what we need to do, instead of talking about what happened, we need to know why it happened. And
why did it happen? Why did the 1983 barrack bombing in Beirut, why did that happen? Based on your information.
Thank you so much for asking that question, because we need to reveal the truth here. And by the way, like I said, if you'd like any sources, I will show you the name.
Well, give me the information first.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a problem. So we went into Beirut in August 1983, along with the French, the Italians, and the British. The reason for that is because there were kind of civil fighting between PLO, Syrians, and Lebanese. So we went there as a peacekeeping mission. Unfortunately, however, that mission completely changed when the United States sided with Israel. In fact, they allowed Israel to move their forces.
Do you see Israel as an ally to America?
Absolutely not. They are the biggest cancer the United States needs to get rid of. So as a result of that, brother, what happened is not only that we allowed Israel to move into Lebanon, what we did is we supported the Gemayel government, which was a minority government that oppressed the people. Not only that, what we did and what started this whole thing is that we boomed a group of Lebanese people called the Druze. And as a result of that booming, what we did is we got attacked by a group called Islamic Jihad, which later became Hezbollah. Hezbollah did not exist if it wasn't for the occupation. As a result of that, Hezbollah retaliated, and that's exactly what happened. So instead of reporting what happened, what we need to do is ask why it happened and why the Hezbollah and the Lebanese did that. That's a matter of fact. Have to bring the resources, have to give you the report that was issued by the Naval Academy or the Naval Forces in Lebanon from officer. This is not somebody that wrote it. This is naval officer that actually wrote that report. Like I said, as a concern for the lives of American men and women that are currently fighting, I'm happy to provide the sources that reveal the truth. And that's not.
You know something, even without you doing it, I can't believe it because we do. I mean, America's been spinning history to its favor since America's been a nation. So, I mean, it sounds very believable. I wouldn't mind seeing the source, but it sounds very believable.
Yeah, brother. I mean, the thing is, the military. I'm going to give you just a sample. Okay, military interventions by the U.S. against country. This is coup. This is changing governments. So I'm going to start with this: Iran, 1953; Guatemala, 1954; Congo, 1960; Dominican Republic, 1961; South Vietnam, 1963; Brazil, 1964; Indonesia, 1965; Chile, 1973; Cambodia, 1970; Australia, 1975. Military intervention: Panama, 1989; Afghanistan, 2001; Iraq, 2003; Libya, 2011. I can go on and on, brother. And what we need to do is we need to stop this because we're talking about American lives. And I do not want to see an American life being lost as a result of the influence by AIPAC and its Israeli counterparts.
Well, we're one of the wealthiest countries on earth, and that probably has a lot to do with it. I mean, we're not just doing this stuff to free people. We're doing it for gain. And I mean, if what Trump is trying to do in Iran is successful, where he ends up controlling the strait or whatever he's talking about, there will be money coming to this country from now. I don't know if it's going to go in the hands of the little guy, but there will ultimately be. I mean, look, at the end of the day, our country has a history of exploiting others for their wealth and resources. This sounds like just another case of that.
Yeah, I think you're making a very good point here, brother, in the sense that if a country, unfortunately, in this world, if they want to gain a worldwide hegemony, is they have to play dirty. But the question is, how long are we going to play these dirty tactics at the cost of the American people? For example, I don't know people, if I was to quantify this, so far we've spent $200 billion and Trump is asking for another $200 billion.
He has over $1 trillion. He's asking for over $1 trillion now.
Okay, exactly. So here's how that translates for American taxpayers. For the $200 billion, that basically means 1,300 out of the pockets of every single American. That's number one. The other $200 billion, that equates to about 2,600 American dollars. So the question here is, when are the American people are going to rise against this regime? Yes, I do call it a regime, and throw out Trump the crook and his cronies that actually receive so much money from AIPAC.
You see the Trump administration as a regime? Is that what I heard?
Yes, absolutely. And we need to get rid of them because they are a group of individuals that are influenced by AIPAC and Israel, and we need to get rid of them and put in a government that actually serves the American people.
Shit, when is the last time we had a government, or as you say, regime in place that were not influenced by Israel and AIPAC?
Well, that perhaps is the biggest problem, brother. And we need to be a sovereign country and get rid of that group. Otherwise, we will continue to be in wars. I mean, if you think about it, Benjamin Netanyahu has talked about Libya, we invaded Libya. He talked about Iraq, we invaded Iraq. He talked about Iran, we're now invading Iran. So for how long are we going to listen to the psycho that's going to keep on having to have our troops go on beaches or on land where they're being unalived? Enough is enough, for God's sake.
Well, when you say how long we gonna keep listening to him, it's kind of reminds me of my days of driving rideshare. I would tell the passenger, I'll take you wherever you need to go as long as you keep paying me. So as long as APAC keeps funding, as long as they keep making sure our politicians and presidents are rich, they're gonna. I mean, look, at the end of the day, he's not sending his kids in the war. So, I'll sacrifice a few thousand people and get rich in the process. So
yeah, I just hope that our process improves. As if we're talking about process, brother. Anyhow, I don't want to take much more of your panel or anybody else. Let's have other people. But all I want to say is, God bless the U.S., God bless America, God bless the American people, and we definitely deserve better. Thank you, brother.
Adam, thank you for coming through. My door is always open to you. Really good conversation,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Thank you for coming through. All right, moving on with the program. Thank you, Adam. I think a lot of folks felt the same way he did, maybe not able to orate it detail by detail like he just did, but I think there's a lot of folks who agree with, I think right or left, we're not even just talking about on the left or detractors of Trump. I think just about everybody believes that Israel is playing a major part in a lot of our military operations over the years. I think you're hearing it from Tucker Carlson, you're hearing it from Megyn Kelly, you're hearing it. I even believe Joe Rogan and some of them are now in on it. So it's on both sides of the aisle. It's on both sides of the aisle. And then of course the whole progressive genocide, Joe has got to go, and all of the stuff that was going on in Gaza. The progressives don't have a big they don't have a big love for Israel either, particularly under Netanyahu. So both sides of the aisle have a lot of folks that agree with what my last caller was saying. Anyway, looking in the comments, Aries says, Tim, I thought we are energy independent. Look, all I can say is this. When you're throwing Trump quotes around, Trump quotes, if I'm saying it right, when you're throwing Trump quotes around, you just got to take some of that shit with a grain of salt. Trump's job, at least in his opinion, is to give out optimistic information. It ain't always true. It ain't always based on anything other than I just want to tell people positive shit. He did say we were energy independent. He does say that stuff. I would tell you this. Talk to MAGA. MAGA seems to know when he's bullshitting when he's not. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I'm at the position where you really can't take anything he says seriously. But my beloved MAGA knows how to, I call them Trump whisperers. They know how to interpret when Trump is bullshitting and when he is being serious. So you got to go find your local MAGA affiliate and ask them, did he actually mean this or was this a joke? Help me out, because I don't want to take it out of context. Talk to some MAGA. They can usually help you out, because I don't know. Trump, he met with Netanyahu on the red carpet in Alaska last year and said it was a great meeting. I haven't seen anything for the war in the Ukraine or for the United States that came out of that meeting to suggest it was great. But that is what he told the American people. Same thing he said during his first term when he met with Kim Jong-un. It was a great meeting. What came out of it? So you just have to take it with a grain of salt. Talk to your local MAGA and ask him, did he actually mean that, or is he kind of pulling our chain? They know. MAGA will tell it to you. MAGA has the ability to read Trump. I don't know, because he says a lot of things. He said the war will be over in 2 to 4 weeks. Now that it's been over 4 weeks, he's saying it'll be over now in 4 to 6 weeks. Ask MAGA, do they believe that's true? So I can tell you, I can't give you anything more than that. Debating if the United States, that's AI's doing it. Well, how can you support this type of president? I didn't say I was supporting it. I'm explaining it. I'm here to talk to folks that are on both sides of the aisle. We don't block, ban, or censor, and get your opinion on it. I need you to tap the screen, get us up to 30,000. We'll go to the next caller, help your boy out with the TikTok cap, hat, mustache, go. You know what I always say, support the damn program. Trump did say he surrounds himself with losers. It makes him feel better, says Sassy Mo. Well, he also said he was going to surround himself with the best and brightest. So go figure. Like I said, talk to MAGA. They can explain which one of those actually happened. It's hard. It's hard to explain. That's all I'm going to say. Trump is a work in progress. Love to Cruz. Thank you, Tate. Appreciate that. Okay. Did you hear my last caller?
Yeah, I enjoyed him.
What did he? What did he say? That I mean, so you believe everything he said was accurate?
He offered a lot of explanations to a lot of things. I'm not able to say if he was accurate or not, but he did offer some excellent explanations. So the fact that he was able to do that, I'm a roll with him on that, because you don't get anything from our government or from MAGA. So I'm gonna go with him.
Well, that depends on who you ask. I want you to clarify something for me to Love the Cruise. In the comments, Glenn Diesel says, "Bro, don't be blagger. You got the hat in the back. Do you have the white tap shoes?" What is he talking? I've never seen a pair of tap shoes that are white. What is he suggesting?
You never seen tap shoes that were white? What was that? Al Jolson, Mammy. You remember that?
No, and that don't sound like that I want to see. That sounds horrible.
You never heard of Al Jolson?
No.
He was a white guy who put black on his face.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and this was during the, I guess the 30s and 40s.
Okay.
And his thing was to say, "Mammy." That was his thing.
Well, that sounds like that's a couple of days before my time, so I don't remember things going back that far. That's going way back. But Glenn Diesel was in the comments saying he agrees with you. So, do you support the actual conflict in Iran?
You know, that's a double-edged sword. Reason being is, I don't support Trump at all, but we got soldiers, men and women over there that would like to get back home. And in order to do that, you have to give them what they need to work with. It's unfortunate that the measures they have to use it, but you have to get them back home. And that's where I got to go with it. So it isn't so much supporting Trump. It's
you supporting
our troops. Yeah.
You know, I had someone suggest that if you believe someone is doing something wrong, you can't just blindly support the people who have been ordered to implement it. I've had folks that are now starting to suggest that if what Trump is ordering our troops to do in a country is wrong and we may be harming innocent people, it makes no sense to support the troops who are carrying it out. And the individual told me this, stating that because some of these troops know what they're doing is wrong. How do you respond to something like that? Because it almost sounds unpatriotic, but at the same time, I kind of understand it.
No, that's Vietnam 2.0. Troops are sent there under order. You take an oath when you go in there. When you take that oath, you're relying on the president to be kind of sane. You know, you're relying on him to be sane, not like him. And you're taking that oath to go there. Yeah, I believe in protecting America, and I believe our government is going to send me over there with the best intentions possible. Unfortunately, it didn't work out like that, but I still had to follow orders.
Yeah, I kind of wonder though. How about this now? Sexy Red in the comments says, "But you can say no though." Is that accurate?
Hell no, not to an extent. I'm on an aircraft carrier, and the captain has a course for the Red Sea or Indian Sea, whatever. And then I'm seeing planes and bombs. No, I don't believe this was right for me to do, so I'm not going to do nothing.
That's the first I've ever heard somebody say that. That's why I'm kind of laughing. Nah, you can't say no. But what happens if they do try to send you out on a mission and you refuse to go? I mean, what is the penalty for that?
That I don't know. You probably have to ask Dincal or Travelman. They have a lot of more information on the military than I do. I never served, so I can't really say I know.
Yeah, I see. I see. Dincal is on deck on Instagram. I do see it. Sexy Red says that's not true. She's saying that's not true though. Even the damn Senate came out and said that. No, the Senate said you don't have to follow illegal orders, but you got to be cautious as an individual infantryman or individual soldier making your own decision on what's illegal order or not. Because if you get it wrong, you're in some serious trouble. But that's what the Senate said, is you don't have to follow illegal orders. I don't know, is anything Trump doing right now? Is it to the point where a soldier can say, I'm not going to do that because it's an illegal order? I don't know if we're there yet.
You in San Diego, and you come back from leave, you're in the Navy, and you're on a battleship, and it takes sail like it's supposed to. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you get orders that you have to do some fighting. At that time, while you're at sea, are you supposed to say, no, I'm not going to do it?
Well, you're going to spend the rest of the time in the brig on the boat until they come back. You're going to be probably in custody the whole time you're on that ship until they come back.
Or overboard. You're going to be there overboard, you know.
Well, they won't throw you overboard, but you are going to probably come back to the States in handcuffs. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where I agree with you. If you join the military, you're hoping that the commander-in-chief only uses you in manners that is conducive to keeping America safe and not to get involved in offensive missions. But I'm going to say this at this point. If you're joining the military in the 2000s, you know there's a good chance America may use you for questionable shit. I mean, as the other caller was pointing out, all of those different involvements we've had, most of that stuff was not to defend America's freedom. I mean, he went all the way back. Most of those wars and conflicts had nothing to do with the freedom of America. We were either helping out some other nation or just going after somebody we didn't like.
But back then was a different time too.
How so? How?
First of all the countries that he named didn't have 90 million people. Second of all, he named conflicts that I wasn't even aware of because you were able to hide those things.
Yeah.
Back then, you can't hide them now. Internet and everything, we have access to everything. So yeah, okay, there were a lot of conflicts I didn't know about, and maybe you did, but I didn't. You know,
no, I didn't know about them all, but I do believe that anytime you join the U.S. military, there's a good chance they may use you in a way that you might feel is not necessary for the safety of the United States. Dincal on Instagram says you could be subject to punishment via the UCMJ, the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Says probably will be expelled from military service. Well, shit, I can deal with that. If I'm about to potentially die, I don't mind getting fired. It's the incarceration that I don't want to deal with. Because
that's one thing. See, that's the thing. It's one thing to be in the field and say, I don't want to go with these orders and do a quick ass retreat. It's another thing to be on a ship.
Yeah.
And say, you know, I don't agree with these orders while they're bombing you, and you're still involved with that, you know.
Yeah.
So it's totally different, you know. Hey,
well,
I got one thing to say. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was about to respond and say something, and I see Stromback Photography put it in the comments. He talked about a dishonorable discharge. I'll tell you something though, getting a dishonorable discharge from the military is not this. It doesn't have the same stigmatism or negative outlook on a citizen that it used to back in the day. If you get if you get dishonorably discharged from the military nowadays, you still can be a fairly successful person. Back in the day, that was like a felony. It ain't as strong on a person now as it used to be.
Successful doing what, Tim?
You can open up your own business. You can go work places. Most jobs don't prevent you from working there if you got a dishonorable military discharge.
You have the money to open up a business because you gotta go get a loan, and you're not getting no loan with no dishonorable discharge.
You telling me you couldn't get a regular job anywhere?
You said successful. I'm asking you.
I mean, you can function. You can function. You can go in and get, I mean, you might not be able to get a government job at the post office somewhere, but you can get a job in the private sector most places if you got.
Yeah, you get a job working at McDonald's, may I help you? Yeah.
I don't even know if you used to be able to get that. Back in the day, if you had a dishonorable discharge, it really hurt you.
Yeah. But I just know it doesn't help. You know, you're dishonorable discharges and felon. Those are hard, you know.
Yeah, and I see Glenn Diesel says a dishonorable discharge is worse than a felony. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Felony, you can barely even lead a state if you got a felony. I don't believe that a dishonorable discharge.
No, it depends on the state, because I know I hear people saying you have a felony, you can't vote. In Ohio, you can.
Yeah.
If you have a felony in Ohio, you can vote.
Do you lose the right to vote if you got a dishonorable discharge?
That's a good question. That's a Dinkel Travelman question.
Yeah, he says, and by the way, he says, yes, non-combat is different from being in the middle of a combat. Yeah, if you're in the middle of a combat mission, somebody might want to shoot your ass. You just, yeah, that would be different. But yeah, if you got a dishonorable discharge, I think you still, for the most part, can function in society. I mean, you're not going to be a billionaire. As you mentioned, you can't get a huge loan, but you can get a decent job and maintain a decent career with that.
Well, you know what? You may be right. I mean, you can Uber or you can get online and do something, you know, that doesn't really require a whole lot.
I mean, I think you can get, I mean, are you banned from working for, let's say, T-Mobile or AT&T? Do they ban you from working there if you got a dishonorable discharge? If you don't tell them you went to the military, are they really going and looking that up? I don't think it hurts you like that.
I think they do look a lot of things up now. I think they do, because you got a lot of online crimes being committed and check frauds. So a lot of companies don't want to be bothered with that. So I think they do look at it.
No, because I haven't heard. Everybody knows a felony hurts you. Everybody knows, at least for the first 7 years or so. Everybody knows that prevents you from doing all kinds of things. I don't think a dishonorable discharge does that. But he says, I know, and then Cal is responding. He says, no, you don't lose your right to vote with a dishonorable. He says, I know people with bad conduct discharge and are wealthy right now.
Thank God for the lottery.
I don't think that's what he meant. I think he is saying that if you can still play your cards right, navigate through society, and as I said, still be successful. I don't think that. Like I said, you're probably not going to get a job at the police department. You're probably not going to be able to do something like that. Government jobs, they are probably going to be a bit more difficult. But if you want to be a manager at Ace Hardware somewhere, or I don't think it would stop you.
Well, you're probably right in the private sector, but I don't think a company.
That's where most of us work, though, is in the private sector. So,
hey, but let me say something. There's two things I want to get on.
Sure.
One, I hope Miss Mo Better is absolutely right. That boy did not shoot that man.
Who are you talking about?
What's his name? Did not shoot Charlie Kirk.
Are you talking about Tyler Robinson? Well, Tyler Robinson, they got evidence to suggest he literally confessed to his lover.
He didn't do that. Let me tell you something. Dinkel and Travelman, they can probably testify to this. This was a 900-yard shot. I don't know any 21-year-olds with no military experience that can make that shot. 900 yards. That is a hell of a shot, and that's a hell of a shot for somebody that is in the military.
Well, this kid, I don't know what his firearms training was like, but he certainly had experience with firearms, because once he became the suspect, his mom had to take down all sorts of Facebook posts. He had 50 cals and everything. He been shooting some weapons. That dude had access to weapons.
You can have all the weapons in the world, but to make a shot of 900 yards, I've been hunting all my life.
Was that really nice? I've seen when you see Charlie Kirk and they show off in the distance, the guy stands up after taking the shot and jumps off the roof. I don't think that was it 900 yards away. 9 football fields. I don't think that shot was that far back.
That's what they said, 900 yards.
That is a hell of a shot.
Yeah, so I agree with Ms. Mo Better 100%. That boy ain't doing it. And one more thing, and I know you about to let me go in a few.
Glenn Diesel says it was under 400 yards. Glenn Diesel says under 400 yards.
Well, I know at the beginning they said 900, so I'm not arguing the fact, but I'm just going what I heard at first.
Okay, what's your other topic?
Your boy, Straight Talk, Dumbass Commerce.
Straight Talk Commerce, what about him?
I'm doing, with MAGA, I'm doing fact checking on him. I'm doing fact checking. He said yesterday, I want to get on, I was trying, you didn't get to me. Because he said Mexican people are paying for the wall.
Yes.
And that's incorrect.
I'm kind of aware of that, but the way Trump set it up is that when he said Mexico is going to pay for the wall, he was going to correct the trade imbalance with Mexico and use that money to pay for the wall. Now, Trump has tariffed a bunch of places, so there could be some possibility that what Trump said is bringing money to America from Mexico in that manner.
You know why I say it's wrong?
Right.
I don't know if you know, but about 7 months ago, Mexico instituted a $5 per person tourist tax.
Meaning?
And if they are paying for it, it's out of that tourist tax. Anybody that visits Mexico, whether you're going to the resort, cruising in, or however, you're paying an extra $5 tourist tax.
That's going to take a long time to pay for a wall at that small amount.
Are you kidding? You know how many resorts? First of all, the resorts, all-inclusive resorts in Mexico. You got cruises.
Yeah, but even if you're talking even if you're talking 100,000 people go visit, that's only 500. I mean, how much that wall's got to cost millions.
Yeah, you're talking by the week. I'm talking about by the day. That's $500,000 a day, which is a whole lot different than five. Everybody that goes in there, you got cruise ships coming in there every day, alone through the Mexican Riviera, Costa Maya, Cozumel.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to be there myself in a few weeks. Real quick before I let you go, while we were talking, I went on. This is Wikipedia, so take it with a grain of salt. They got 142 yards.
Okay, well then I stand corrected then.
So Tyler Robinson, it is. Mr. Mobetta was wrong.
Okay then. I was with you, Ms. Mo Better. I gotta leave you with that one. But
all right,
when it initially came out, they were saying 900.
Yeah, 900. Yeah, 900 would be that would be a hell of you would need a special scope to even see him. That would be a hell of a shot. But I'll leave it at that.
But 142, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm wrong. Sorry, but hey, chat, have a field day on me. I'm wrong.
All right, Cruz. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I know you're going to have a field day, but go ahead.
All right.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tim.
Anytime. Thanks for coming through. All right, moving on. Tap the screen. Get us on up to 40,000, if you will. I don't know, how far those spots were apart, but they did show footage of the guy standing up after taking the shot, and it didn't look like there was a 900-yard distance between where he was sitting and where that building was. That's a long 900 yards. What is a mile? 5,480 feet. So 900 yards would be what? 2,700 feet. Am I getting that right? A yard is 3 feet, right? Yeah, that's like a half a mile. That building wasn't that far away. No, that building wasn't 900. That building was not 900 yards. So that would be a half a mile, 900 yards. No, I don't think it was that far away. Didn't they say the bullet didn't match? Yes, they did say that, but the rifling inside of a barrel can warp a bullet to the point where it can be fired from a gun and not match the gun it came from. That can happen. That absolutely can happen. So that doesn't necessarily tell the tale. Evil B by Boo Says, Tim, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Show your applause for the greatest showman on earth. Wow, talk about really, really making me feel good. Greatest show on earth. Give it up for tonight's perfect showman. Also, that I would go to war for Kamala, not for alien bozo freak. So you'd be willing to go to war for Kamala Harris, but I'm assuming the bozo freak is our current commander-in-chief. Evil, B-Boo, thank you for the support. He insists that Trump is an alien. He insists that way. I believe it's like a fingerprint says tomorrow. Well, like I said, when a round is fired through the barrel of a rifle, the what do they call it? The grooves inside of the barrel that's spinning around and all that. I mean, there's all kinds of shit. If something's in there can warp that round, not to mention hitting his neck. I mean, now I think they said the round they pulled out of Charlie Kirk was in great condition. But normally, you know, a round, certainly if it's a hollow point, it mushrooms and turns into all kinds of shit. But apparently they pulled out a really good quality round out of Charlie Kirk. I don't know ballistics, so I'm not going to pretend like I do. But the way Charlie Kirk responded to being wounded, I almost thought the damn round was tumbling when it hit him. Like he didn't get hit straight on. He got hit with a round that maybe was turned on its side or something. I mean, the way his body was responding to that. So I don't know, but I did hear that the round does not match. I think Israel has something to do with Charlie Kirk. Israel, just like Candace Owens is saying, you think Israel? No. Why would Israel give a shit about Charlie Kirk? No, that's a bit much. You're saying Candace Owens is on the train saying that on the bandwagon. Candace Owens is saying, is there anybody else that agree with that? Yes or no? Anybody else agree that Israel and Charlie Kirk have a connection? Sherbert says, now you fluffing. How am I fluffing? I'm playing ignorance on this shit. I don't know what's going on. I'm not aware that Israel had anything to do with in the comments. Evil B-Boo says, Tim, he says, Trump ain't shit. Tell beautiful red happy, what do you say, Tim? Tell beautiful red happy, I guess you mean sexy red happy holiday. And I'm waiting to hear from her. When is she going to get in touch with me? Are you talking about gangster grandma, sexy? Is that what you're talking about? Mike, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Happy Friday, brother. How you doing?
Happy Friday. This is what what is today? Good Friday?
Good Friday.
Yeah. Okay. Happy Friday.
For some.
Are you suggesting this a bad Friday for others? Maybe for the Ayatollah?
Man, it's a bad Friday for anybody that still has faith in this fucking government. This administration is just. Hey, I told you in the comments earlier. I said I'm about 90%.
I saw that.
I told you when he first got elected. I told you, Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, and Cass Patel would be three of the first people. Did I or did I not tell you that?
I'm hearing Tulsi Gabbard might be on the chopping block.
She coming too, but. Listen, all of the women and anyone that's a minority is out of there. They were used. Alter ego. Did I or did I not say that? They're all going to be the scapegoats for this. Listen, Tim. I told you from the beginning.
Wait, you said all of the women in any. So what is he trying to do? Have an all-white male administration?
Yes, just like they want an all-white military. This isn't me. This isn't my opinion. This is what they've said. This is what they're trying to do. You just had four Black servicemen and women that were denied their promotions. Why?
Well, he did get rid of the chief of the army. That guy was a white guy with 40 years of service.
And why do you think they got rid of that guy and those other two? Why do you think they got rid of him?
Maybe he certainly had the know-how to do the job. I don't know. He got in art. Maybe he protested what happened.
You almost got caught left when you was about to say some other shit before you said.
No, I'm thinking. Well, no, with 40 years on the job, it's hard to suggest he don't know what he's doing. So maybe he actually protested some of those firings, or something to do with Iran.
They said, Tim, Pete Hegseth said they want somebody else that's willing to follow and be more loyal and follow.
And he replaced him with his own assistant.
And replaced it with his own. I'm telling you, man, listen to me. The whole Pam Bondi thing with Todd Blanche, that was already there. Although Todd Blanche gonna be worse than her. You believe?
Why would he wait, hold on. That's one thing I do not understand. Okay, Pam Bondi's a woman. If you want to go down the gender road, we can talk about that, but you don't get rid of Pam Bondi. I mean, that's a ride or die woman. I mean, like she literally put your face on the side of the Justice Building. Why would the head of the executive branch be on the Justice Building? I mean, you can't get more loyal than, I mean, this woman is the one that would bag up your nickels and know about the cases in DC. You don't get rid of Pam Bondi. I don't get why he did that.
It's very simple, Tim. I've been telling you, he's not loyal to anybody. I've been telling you this, and you've been like, no, that's not true. I'm like, he's not loyal.
I understand these hoes ain't loyal. I get that, but what did she do? She was willing to. She will lie for you. She'll do what if she'll arrest who you need to arrest. Why would you get rid of that?
Because you can never do all the things that somebody like Donald Trump wants you to do. Because Tim,
like what? What was he asking her to do?
Whatever he wanted her to do, you're in a no-win situation with this man. You can do exactly what he asked you to do. You can do exactly what he asked you to do, get public backlash for it, and he'll fire you for doing exactly what he asked you to do. And he has no allegiance to anybody. I told you there is no soft landing for working with this man. He doesn't care.
Yeah, Vic LeVar in the comments says scapegoat man. So
yeah. What did Kristi Noem not do? What did Marjorie Taylor Greene not do?
Well, Kristi Noem was fucking up. Kristi Noem was genuinely fucking up.
No, she wasn't doing, Tim. She wasn't doing anything other than what she expected was to do by him.
Well, but she did operate autonomously. I mean, according to him, he didn't give authorization to do a $200 million ad. I mean, the domestic terrorist comment was.
Did you just say according to him? I didn't see, and this is what I'm saying. According to him, he didn't know Michael Cohen. According to him, he ain't known anybody. He didn't know Michael Cohen that well. He didn't know according to Trump, he knows nothing all the time.
I swear, Michael, I swear it almost make it sound like our commander-in-chief is dishonest.
Just a little bit. I told you this from the very fucking beginning. This man has no loyalty. He has no allegiance to anything but what he wants to do. He does have these racist views. He does have these ideologies. And by the way, the people around him, they don't value the women. Do you? Listen, I told you. Matter of fact, I can pull up right now where they said that they're talking about getting rid of Kash Patel right now. You didn't see that yesterday?
No, I haven't seen. And real quick before I respond to that, folks, for my YouTube audience in particular, it helps the algorithm, and it does bring in more MAGA. If you're watching on YouTube, I need you to tap that like button, smash that like button. It doesn't cost you a damn dime, but this is somewhat entertaining programming. So tap that like button. This is uncensored. We are MAGA friendly as well. So tap that like button if you happen to be watching us on YouTube. Mike, continue.
Yeah, so you got to remember, first of all, Kash Patel was already removed as the head of the ATF, and then they moved him over to the FBI, if you remember.
Yeah.
Hey, he won't be there long, Tim. Trust me on this.
Let me just say it this way. Okay, if Kash Patel goes, is there any chance, remote chance at all, that he will be replaced by a white guy?
There's 100% chance.
So the man is just trying to make an all-white government. All-white male men.
Don't take my word for it. Just go read what Steve Miller, read what Pete Hegseth said. Read this. That's why they had to tag this DEIA thing the way they did, so it would justify the removal of those people that qualify underneath that propaganda. This is what their plan has been the whole time. The people that are in front right now, Tulsi, Cash, Christy Nome, Pam Bondi, they are all pawns. They're all puppets.
Is there any other women other than Tulsi? Is there any other women? Because I want to see. I'm gonna be, now that you've made it, now that you've indicated this, I want to follow it and see if your 90% continues to be accurate. You know, getting rid of minorities and getting rid of women.
Linda McMahon, the head of the Board of Education. Yeah, her ass ain't gonna be around long either. Her ass ain't gonna be around long.
And she gonna be replaced by a white man too.
And she gonna be replaced by a white man. There's 204. Go down his administration, and I want you to put a check mark under everybody that's not a white.
Carolyn Leavitt. Somebody brought that up. Carolyn Leavitt.
Her ass gonna be gone too. You listen, Tim.
You know my beloved MAGA, Mike. They think you're full of shit. The comments are saying you're full of shit right now.
I know they do, but they can't push back on me. Let me tell you another thing, Luke. I want to pivot real quick. During Donald Trump's election, the cycle, when he was campaigning, he was like, "Oh, we're not going to touch daycare. We're not going to touch Medicaid, Medicare. We're not going to touch any of them." Isn't that what he said when he was campaigning?
Yeah, now they, with all of the money going to the military, that's exactly where they're going. It's right there.
And he just said the other day, we can't pay for this. The same things he said we're not going to touch, while you're asking for another $1 trillion. I mean, listen, at this moment in time, if people are still on the fence, hold on one second. I'm watching. I got news. I always have News Nation on. They got a breaking news ticket. They say 3 U.S. military aircraft were hit over Iran. What's the third one? I haven't seen that one yet.
Yes, it's saying it right now. A Black Hawk helicopter and ATN also hit an unknown. Okay, so I guess they hit a helicopter. Well, I know there was a helicopter with people in it that went to rescue the F-15 pilot, and some of the folks in that got shot up.
Yeah,
damn,
that one got hit.
This is a hell of an operation for an obliterated military, huh?
Well, yeah, they ain't got shit no more. And this is the thing, Tim. This is the mediocrity. I told you, I've been telling you, these motherfuckers are mediocre from the beginning. I'll say it again. They're mediocre. This is a kakistocracy. We are being led by people that don't know what they're doing. If you don't agree with them, they want to remove you and add someone else that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. The fact that this general for the U.S., the secretary for the U.S. Army, top brass, was asked to resign, more than likely was because he didn't want to do something that they were asking him to do. Just like
the African American in the Venezuelan conflict.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're going to hear from Mike. I'll tell you this. You're going to hear from these dudes because if the Democrats win Congress in November, which most analysts expect them to do, that's one of the first. I mean, they're going to be busy day and night with all of the shit they're going to be. But that's one of the first things they're going to do is call them folks up to testify. That African American admiral down in the Venezuelan conflict, and not his guy. That's the first thing they're going to be trying to find out is, why did you guys quit? I mean, there's something there this guy got fired, but the guy down in the Venezuelan conflict, he just resigned, and he had time. This guy had a year left, and that guy actually took a demotion, I think, to resign. So
because you want to keep what benefits you have, and even when people resign or retire, these crazy motherfuckers take it a step further and try to keep the benefits that they've earned, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if they did that too. It's just that, no, we're not leaving race out of the combo alter ego. Listen, let me tell you guys something you guys keep talking about people that want to leave race out of the conversation don't really want to have the fucking conversation. Give me just a little room on this 1 second, Tim. I am so tired of people being so fragile that they don't want to hear the truth about this administration and what their core values are. Their core value is centered around racism. Stop acting like it's not a fucking thing. It is. You can't explain it away. You just have to say the depravity of this.
But MAGA swears up and down race ain't got shit to do with it. It's about marriage.
I know they do. That's what happens. A husband beating, somebody that is doing DV doesn't. They don't really say that they're doing DV now, do they, Tim?
No.
These people that are touching children don't really admit that they're touching children.
Not likely. Not likely.
The abusers and the people that are inflicting said behavior typically admit said behavior. Case in point, hasn't Israel created atrocities against people?
They're doing it right now. Apparently, I'm actually planning on downloading the Telegram app, which is something I didn't normally want to fuck with because there's a lot of scams on it. But apparently, a lot of the footage of what Israel is doing in Lebanon is on there, and they said it's pretty damn graphic. I just want to see what it looks like. But yeah, apparently, what Israel's doing now in another country, which is that country up there, it's pretty bad.
Right, it is, but again, Alter Ego, I need you guys to hear me on this. If you continue, there is no other subject in this country that people push back on with more evidence that is true than racism. None. People don't push back on studies on cancer. They don't push back when women are being abused, that it's not happening, that it's a thing. You don't tell somebody that's been a victim of anything other than racism.
Racism is almost like the N-word to some other people. I'm telling you, it's to the point where it's almost worse to accuse somebody of being a racist than for them to actually be a racist. I don't know why. That is a bad word.
It's like, what are we talking about? It happens. People get cancer. People get DV. People get SA. Or people get raped. We never tell those people not to tell their story or not to be advocates for the things they went through. We don't do that in this country. But the minute we start talking about race, we're fear-mongering. You always got to bring race into it. But the people that are being harmed by racism are the ones being harmed. I didn't tell Exit not to promote for Black military veterans, people that have been in the military, career military personnel that should be promoted like everyone else. I didn't tell him not to do that. He did. He pointed out the 4 Black people, so I can just kind of deduce.
I'm only bringing up the fact that the admiral was Black so that people would kind of know, because there ain't a lot of Black admirals. So when I say that Black admiral in Venezuela, it's easier to remember who the guy is. That's the only reason why I'm pointing out that he's Black. But I mean,
because we don't have that many. We don't have that many, and the ones that we've had, they've been terminating. Imagine that, or saying they can't get promoted. Or imagine that. Matter of fact, if you go read those 2 women that didn't get promoted, Trump said he didn't want to stand next to them.
Is there actually any evidence of him saying that? Is that an accusation?
I've heard it multiple times.
That's really, if Trump said he didn't want to stand next to a Black person that was, one of our brothers or sisters in the military, to say something like that, if you could catch him on tape that would be really damning. But if it's an accusation, nobody's going to believe it.
Yeah, but they've called everything everything that he's ever done. They've all called accusations or bullshit, or he's being targeted. And I still tell you, all of these Trump supporters, they have yet to show me. They said he's been persecuted. And I simply ask one question: show me a rich white man in this country that's been persecuted. For doing nothing. I've been asking that one question for 10 years, and guess what, Tim? I don't have one fucking answer, and you know why? Because it doesn't happen in this country. That's
a tough one, because I'm trying to think. No, I don't know of any rich white guy that was innocent of what he was charged with or something like that. There's got to be somebody. I just can't think of any.
If you find one, let me know. I've been asking.
There has to be at least one white guy that was accused of rape or something and he didn't do it. I mean, there's got to be at least one.
I'm just asking if he's out there. Please show me. But when they apply that to this motherfucker, when they apply that to Trump, and here's the thing, he sat on TV the other night, Tim. This man sat on TV the other night and said a whole lot of nothing. And I heard people say, some people, because I've heard more people, even Trump supporters, be like, "What the fuck was that?" like what?
Well, it would help if it would help if his information of what's going on in Iran was consistent. When you're on record saying we need to have regime change and America needs to have some input, and then later you're saying regime change was never the goal, or you're saying the war will be over in 2 weeks or so, and then a month later you're saying we need 4 to. I mean, regardless if you think it's a necessary war, and I'm talking to my beloved Mag on this. even if you agree with what's going on 100%, it's hard to deny his information has not been going all over the place, changing, and he say one thing one day and the next day it's something else. I mean, it's hard to deny it. I mean, because you can see the videos of his information changing. So that is going to cause some folks' faith in his information to waver, because he said that they were obliterated almost a year ago now. And then all of a sudden, boom, we have to do something now because they're about to develop a bomb. So
and you know what they said? Well, when he said obliterated, what he meant, I'm speaking as a MAGA fluffer. What he meant was that one location was obliterated. They were doing nuclear enrichment over there.
Even if you fluff to that level, I can bring up a clip of Trump saying that, you know, we took their stuff out so much they're probably not going to develop any nukes for decades.
I don't disagree with you.
I mean, he said so many wild things that it's hard to, and of course now, you know, a couple of days ago he was saying that we can fly over Tehran and we can bomb their desalination plants and we can bomb their electric plants and there's nothing they can do about it. And then 2 days later, they took down 3 aircraft in the same day. So the consistency is just not there. You're saying stuff that is leading people to wonder, do you really have a hold on what's going on? Who's advising you?
And the fact of the matter is he doesn't have a hold on what's going on. Well, let me back up. They're just throwing shit out there because listen, the Trump supporters should be offended that he believes he can just stand in front of you and say anything and you'll just accept it. I mean, that's really what he's doing. But here's the thing.
It's working though. It works.
It's working.
I'll say this about Trump. As somebody who's went to a couple Trump rallies, one benefit Trump had, there's something about him that just makes you root for the guy. He knows how to speak to you in a way where you feel like he's being victimized and you kind of walk away thinking this is just a really decent guy that's somewhat down on his luck in terms of how people are treating him. It's hard to explain.
Well, you know what it is, Tim. Here's what it truly is. This is what it is. Stochastic terrorism. Have you heard that term before?
What is it called?
Stochastic.
I ain't heard no shit like. What is that?
Okay, I'm gonna give you the definition. It's the public demonization of a person or a group through mass media using indirect inflammatory language to incite random, statistically probable violence by quote unquote lone actors. This method allows the instigator to maintain plausible deniability as specific direct threats are avoided. There's characteristics of this. Dehumanization and demonization, check. Indirect incitement, check. Statistical predictability, check. Plausible deniability, check. Anything that I said, everything, this administration upholds all of these characteristics. It's what they do. It's what they're doing. And when we have these conversations, people like Jay Real will say fear mongering. But like I said earlier, Jay Real, you don't know me, my guy or lady. You don't know me, but you can ask Tim. I've been saying this shit well before the election.
Yeah. I can co-sign that. I can co-sign. I do got to move it on, but I can absolutely co-sign that. I'll give you the last word though.
This will be my last word as we go into this weekend about
Cedric says I call it yapping.
I know what Cedric does, but Cedric hasn't read a book from cover to cover since he's been an adult. But
damn.
As we go into this holiday that Donald Trump doesn't care about, as they prayed over him and everybody had their eyes closed.
I saw that.
Now listen, was that one of those moments where you're like, Jesus?
Well, you got a man that is on video that has not only said, I'm not a Christian, he's also said on video, I've never asked God for forgiveness in my life. And he's also said recently, I am not going to heaven. For these folks, that's fucking ridiculous. To assume that this dude was sent by God and God just let him say, I don't know. Go ahead and finish it. To me, that was crazy.
Last words. They felt that way about David Koresh, Jim Jones, and Charles Manson. So I'm just saying. It is what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all you got to do is keep charting this bullshit. See, you guys are pushing back because you don't want to accept it. You want to be comfortable in your ignorance instead of being uncomfortable in reality. That's the difference between you and I.
I gotta follow
accept it
you
for
up
what
with
it
some
is.
MAGA. I need to follow you
Yeah.
up with some MAGA. All right.
You're gonna have to.
Let's go.
And I got a couple of galaxies circling around here like drones too. So be careful when you bring your punk ass up here. with
Oh
bullshit.
my God. All right, Mike. Appreciate it.
All right,
Moving
later.
on. And is Den Cal still on? Let me see in the comments here real quick. And tap the screen for you guys on TikTok. Get your guy on up to 60,000. We can make that happen if you let your thumbs not be lazy. On YouTube, if you realize if the West Coast was Democrats for the longest, wasn't it basically the Democrats that encamped the Japanese in the USA? I don't think nobody cares what specific party did it. I mean, it's not like, let's see, the Democrats were the party of the Confederate South. They were the party of slavery. Is there a whole bunch of Republicans that were against it at the time? Just like when we bring up Biden and the crime bill, locking up black folks. It's not like the Republicans were saying that's wrong. The country was in favor of it. When they put Japanese in internment camps, it's not like there was a huge revolt from the Republicans. They were okay with it too. So to me, it makes no sense to bring up what party led what was going on, because there was not a revolt from the other side either. Both sides were okay with it. So yeah, bringing up the party to me is kind of meaningless on that one. Real quick, Evil Be Babu. Pam Bondi was Trump's best wild card. Now that crazy she-devil is out, because if you're not in Trump's circle, he wants your soul, your blood, and he is your God. Damn. I don't know. I think Trump still would look out for Pam Bondi. Now, you heard my last guest suggest that it's something to do with gender and race. I'm certainly going to pay attention to see if what he is saying continues to follow through, because Carolyn Leavitt and Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel. Let's see if those three end up going there. You know, we're talking minorities, we're talking women. According to my last guest, if the Trump administration is trying to have an all-white male administration, Carolyn, and also he did mention McMahon's wife, the Department of Education. So we'll see how that turns out. But you say he's your God, damn. Real quick, hey Tim, just called for emergency cabinet meeting. Something seriously is going on. Really? I'm looking at it, News Nation. He's saying that they just called for an emergency cabinet meeting. I haven't heard it. Anybody else heard that? It's not on. I'm looking at the ticker while we're talking, so I haven't seen that one pop up. But I didn't know they had took out a helicopter as well. So taking out 3 aircraft in one day that's serious. When you're talking about the military might of the United States, how significantly better it is than the Iranians. They got 3 aircraft in one. That's a huge morale boost for the Iranian people. And that probably will hurt the morale of the Americans, because if one of them get picked up by the Iranians, ain't no guarantee you're gonna get that person back. Was it not in Iraq where they captured a few of our guys and they literally dragged their bodies and hung them from a bridge or something like that, stripped them naked? Not a good place to get caught. Certainly when the president is posting pictures with cartoons and hip-hop songs laughing at the killing of Iranians. It's a lot of angry Iranians. Even if the government wants to use you as a pawn to maybe try to get some leverage, there's no guarantee that the citizen that catches you first will hand you over to the government. So just understand it. It's not a good place to get caught. The way Trump has been acting just makes it way, way worse, because he's been making jokes about killing them. In the comment section, by the way, smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Certainly can make that happen. It helps out with the algorithm. I keep saying this, but I need you folks on YouTube, smash that like button. We are uncensored. Our comments go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. So we don't block, ban, or censor anybody on the program. Understand that. You can be critical of anybody on this show, including yours truly. We're all about free speech. But we're asking that question: do you support the ongoing conflict, the war in Iran, straight Talk Commerce. Good evening.
Leave it to you to have zero perspective on this. You said nothing. We were losing when it was all damage on Iran. When we were out, they got no Navy.
When the hell? Wait, hold on. When the hell did I say we were losing? I never said once we were losing.
This whole time, you and your little D-minions talking all this shit about the United States. We've been losing monsters under the bed. We lose an aircraft. One of the pilots gets out, no problem. The other one they're trying to locate. Dude, what do you think war is? What do you think
wait, hold on. That ain't you would have a point, straight talk. I'm not arguing with you. Hold on, no. Here's the problem. You would have a point if the president weren't saying the shit he said. He's not making it sound like it's a war. He's made it sound like this shit was over with on day one. They don't have anything to fire back with.
It still is, dude.
No.
Listen, you can bring down, if you try hard enough, you can bring down a freaking helicopter with a law rocket or
an F-15 that can break the sound barrier. If you try hard enough, you can take one of them down, right? With a slingshot.
He was probably driving low and slow.
Do you know the stall speed of an F-15 is still a couple hundred miles an hour? I mean, what are you talking about? That's not, you don't fly that low.
And they have infrared. They have infrared missiles. Like I said, what do you think? Listen, Tim, seriously. So they got a plane. Great.
Three of them. They took down 3 aircraft in one day straight.
We lose at least 100 aircraft. What was the number? I looked this up the other day. In training accidents alone, we lose more than that.
We don't lose. We don't lose 3 aircraft to an obliterated military in one day. Straight talk. That doesn't happen.
What? Tim, we lose more aircraft in a year in training accidents.
What does that got to do with this?
What I'm saying to you is just flying around. Flying around, we lose more aircraft than Iraq has been able to knock out of the sky. You guys have a monster under your bed. Stop acting
the man made it sound like the Iranians were a pushover. Yet 3 aircraft.
They're pushed over.
No, they're not.
They are pushed.
How can they be pushed? How can they be pushed over when the Strait of Hormuz is still not even open yet?
They have it closed. Have it closed. We don't have anything to do with that. Wait. Understand
who is they?
Who has the strait closed?
Who is they that has it closed?
Iran is closing the strait, are they not?
I thought they were a pushover. They can close the strait.
No, they've locked themselves in the house. What business is that of ours?
Then why are we there?
We already told you. God damn it. You have the memory of a gnat. That's why you don't understand this. You don't want to understand.
You're not making any sense is why I'm not understanding it.
Hey, we're not there because of some oil in the Strait of Hormuz.
Why are we there? And by the way, Trump has talked about taking the oil. So why are we there?
Dude, are you serious? We are now a month in and you still don't know why we're there? You're never going to know.
Like I said.
You'll ask me this dumb shit tomorrow.
I think the problem with your statements is that Trump.
You have a learning.
It ain't got nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with me. The fact is, Trump is that perhaps you just haven't heard.
No, he has not. He told you from day one, Iran was trying for a nuclear weapon. We took away that ability. We obliterated their missile capability next.
I thought this was about freeing protesters.
That's why we're there. It has nothing to do with oil.
What about the idea? He told us he was trying to help them.
That's another reason.
He was trying to help the protesters rise up and take their country back.
That's going to take a little more time.
How you gonna help them rise up and take their country back while bombing them to the Stone Age?
What do you think? We're going to soften the target quite a bit, but what do you think arming 90 million people is going to do against the 2 million that's in charge of their government?
What you just said don't make sense. You told me that we're going to help the people, help liberate them from. Wait, you're going to help liberate. Hold on, you're not letting me get the point out. You're going to help liberate the people from an evil regime by bombing them to the Stone Age, taking away their power, putting the country in the dark, and their fresh water supply. And somehow they're going to be liberated behind that.
Yes,
That's
because
stupid.
they're not going. Their government is going to be. Listen, obviously, their government hasn't learned enough yet. Obviously, so we got to take out some more infrastructure. What do you think?
More
did you
infrastructure.
Stop. Did you ever tour through London, Frankfurt, Paris? You ever been to any of those cities?
No, I have not.
Okay, I have. Let me tell you what they look like, and what they look like for years after World War II. We didn't just bomb the military the aspects. We bombed critical. We bombed their critical manufacturing. We bombed. What about Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Same thing. Until the regime changes their attitude, we're going to keep bombing.
None of those places that we did that to view America as liberators. None of those places did.
What are you talking about? They did. They don't now. You're right.
I don't.
They're very
When we bombed Japan and all these other, none of them folks viewed us. The people in Iran are not going to view us as liberators. If you got them walking around
Japan
dying
was
of
different.
thirst.
Japan, we did not liberate the people of Japan. The people of Japan were conquered. Period. And we were regarded and still are regarded as conquerors. But as far as people in Austria, people in Poland, people in listen, dude, I didn't buy a meal. If I went out on the economy and when I lived in Germany, I didn't buy a meal.
I cannot believe you believe that if we take out their fresh water
because
supply,
you have no frame of reference.
no, I think you have no. I think you have no frame
reference
of
and zero
mind. I think you have no
experience with
frame
this.
of mind. If you take out a country's
Listen,
fresh
it's
water
easy for you
supply,
to say you've never served.
if you
you've
take
never
out,
done a damn-
this ain't got shit to do with that because the people you're liberating,
it
the
doesn't.
people
Tell me it
you're
doesn't.
the people you're liberating ain't served either. It got shit to do with people who serve.
What are you
If
talking about?
if I'm a citizen of a country with a oppressive regime, and your country comes over and puts us in the dark, takes away our fresh water supply, and bombs us to the Stone Age, I don't see you as liberating me, no matter how bad my regime
You know
is.
what? This proves to me that you don't know shit. And you should stop this. Because if you live under an oppressive government, that what good is water to you? What good is fucking, you're getting shot every time you leave your apartment? People fight for their freedom, Tim.
They're
fight
not
for
that
the ability to
oppressive.
breathe
They're
and
not that
speak their mind.
You're telling me that
You never had to do that, so you don't understand it. I get it.
you haven't had to do that shit either. You're telling me that
Hey, I didn't do it for the United States.
You
but I
didn't do
did
it at
for
all.
Kuwait.
you didn't do it at all.
Fuck yourself.
Let me tell
I
you.
got a DD 214 that says otherwise.
You
So
try.
you're calling me a liar.
You're trying. No, I think you're overestimating what you did. You're trying to suggest that the regime in Iran is so oppressive that the people would rather us get rid of that than have water and power. That's wrong. That's not true.
Yes, no, it is not true. It is 100% not true.
Okay. I'll just say it is.
They would much rather live free and rebuild their country and have a minor inconvenience, something that you are completely unfamiliar with.
No electricity and no water is a minor inconvenience.
So you think that they have no water and no electricity? The electricity doesn't. Cuba doesn't have electricity. We haven't done shit to them yet. So I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. There are places in Africa, places in North Korea that don't have electricity. We didn't have shit to do with that. Okay, you need to fix your frame of reference. You are too old to be talking like this.
I don't even know how to respond.
You have lived too long under someone else's umbrella of protection. And I'll tell you something else, dude. It is really offensive, not just to me, but to every veteran that's ever served, that you could sit there and say something like that to a veteran of the United States military.
I think
You slept under the protection that I provided.
What the hell is this?
I
You
gave my
sound.
life to this country.
Have you been listening to Jack Nicholson and Few Good Men again? That sounds like one of his lines.
You haven't served a fucking day in your life, anyone other than yourself. And it is very easy. I mean, you realize how offensive what you're saying is.
No.
I don't think you care, but do you realize
I don't. I think that the idea that you serve does not put you in some type of realm where you
Have you
cannot
ever
be
thanked anyone
criticized.
for their service?
Yeah, all the time. I thank Decal.
Okay,
I
what do
thank
you
all of
think
my
you're
guests.
fucking? What do you think you're thanking them for?
Now you sound like J.D. Vance in the Oval Office talking to Zelensky. Should I be thanking you more?
You sound like a fucking 3-year-old, dude. Honestly, I swear to you.
Oh my God, this is. You ever heard of? Have you
Your
ever heard
gas
this?
price goes up 5 cents, and you whine like a bitch. You don't understand that there are other people out there that are living really oppressed, not fake oppressed, real oppressed.
Have you ever heard of the term crash out?
Yeah, I watch you do it all the time.
Well, you're not watching me. You apparently are looking in the mirror.
You expect me to listen to you to denigrate my service to this country, the loss of 80% of my hearing.
Service.
You expect me to listen to you talk about other veterans the way you are talking about me, and for me not to get upset about it? Yeah. Guess what? Try again.
I didn't say nothing about you other than I think you're like the chef that thinks you served the duty of Rambo. It didn't happen. What you thank you for that alter ego.
Tell everybody, tell everyone how you know that. Tell everyone you know about my service. What did I do? Where was I, Tim? You tell me where I was. I hallucinate this whole thing or what?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you've been more places than Carmen Sandiego the way you talk.
Yeah, I'm 58 years old. I've done some shit in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I apologize to you for that because you sat back on the block slinging crack. What do you want?
So I've been slinging crack the whole time.
Obviously, you haven't done shit with your life, and you're very envious with the things that we have done.
Oh my God. Some might suggest that almost sounds like you were a stereotype in making an intolerant comment.
Take it how you want. Take it how it sounds. You're going to tell me, you're going to insult me, and you're not going to take it back.
It's funny. It's humorous, but I just can't believe you went. As far as
I achieved. You're going to talk to me about things you never achieved, and you're upset because I offended you about things you never achieved, and the things I achieved, the things I did, are fair game to you.
I haven't been upset since you came on Straight Talk. You're always welcome back on this program. I just think
you may not
crazy.
be offended. You may not be offended, but you are offensive. So let's just be very clear.
God damn it! If I'm offensive, you believe Trump's face should be on all 4 faces of Mount Rushmore. You said that. You voted for it. You voted for offensive.
I mean, I swear to God, I am hoarding dollars and hundreds, and I want as much money with his signature on as I can get.
All right, then. So don't.
Really seems to piss you guys off.
If you believe that Trump is that great, you have lost all credibility to complain about anybody being offensive. You voted for offensive.
Why? I am 100% in favor of everything he's done.
I didn't say nothing about what I didn't say nothing about what he's done. What I'm saying is you voted for offensive. You voted for a guy that enjoys doing that.
He doesn't offend me.
And
he offends you. He hasn't offended me.
It ain't got nothing to do with him offending you. You know he is deliberately trying to offend others.
Yes.
All right then.
Yes.
So don't complain about it.
What do you mean I am not complaining about that.
Here's something that Trump apparently just tweeted. 4 words. Keep the oil, comma, anyone. So he's talking about keeping the oil. What is that about?
No idea. I'll have to go look into context. I do know why Pam Bondi.
What context do you think? I mean, that's pretty straightforward. What do you mean context?
Well, you tell me. Well, why are you asking me? You already have the answer. You already know what you think. Why are you asking me what I think?
You know, as one belligerent man once told me, you sound too old to be talking that way. You know what keep the oil means. You know what that means. That's the same thing he said in Venezuela. Same thing he said they should have done in Iraq. You know what he's talking about.
We have all the oil we need. And if we decide that we're going to keep this oil, I guess we're going to get some more oil. But you're not even the slightest bit curious why Pam Bondi was finally fired?
No, I'm curious. Give me your take, because I don't know why she was fired. I'm not gonna. Mike says it's because she's a woman.
President Trump is just as upset as you are that she has not been referring people for indictments and not been pressing charges against others. And her dragging her feet, her warning Swalwell that he was about to be indicted, that was really kind of the last straw. Eric Swalwell had a years-long affair with Fang Fang, and he has never faced punishment for that. She drug her feet. Those two are friends. Look, when you work for somebody and you don't do as they've asked you to do, you have a tendency to get fired. That's what happens.
Now, on all the shit you said, that's one that I can kind of see the light on, because
100%
he promised to be a president of retribution, and she is taking
No.
That's what he promised.
Retribution, fine, but that's not what this is about. It's retribution when you guys break a law.
No, when he demanded that she hurry up and go after James Comey and Letitia James, that was retribution.
No, it's not retribution.
It is.
He broke the law.
The hell out of here.
Listen, the police don't drag you out of your vehicle and throw you in jail over some retribution.
No. Hold on.
Because you resisted it's because you stole that crack. It's because you are. Yes.
You telling me you telling me Letitia James, who committed fraud to the tune of about $17,000, if she hadn't prosecuted him, you still think he would have been going at the Pam Bondi to go after him?
She drew attention to herself.
No, he wouldn't even.
Those aren't made up. You're saying
this guy has
make up charges or set her up.
She was being punished. That's bullshit. This guy has pardoned people that have committed damn near billions of dollars in fraud. Yeah. And he's eager to go after this. He is eager to go after this one woman who's cheated a court allegedly $17,000. He's demanding that the head of the DOJ go after her, but meanwhile he's pardoning all kinds of big fraudsters.
He pursues charges against the president.
Who sent that? Somebody, you got to guess. I don't know who just sent that. But no, to me, if it would be different if he wasn't pardoning all kinds of white-collar fraudsters so often. But he's pardoning a lot of people.
Every single president does that. Every single president.
Yeah, but every president doesn't beg his deal.
The pardonability rests with the president.
Every president does not urge. Every president does not urge the DOJ to go after his enemies publicly like he did.
Are you kidding me?
Give me some examples.
Give me some. The entire IRS. He did it with OSHA, ATF, FBI. The Biden administration did it with the FBI. You guys love to conveniently leave this shit out.
Becky B, no. In the comments, Evil B Babu says, can straight talk, can you be even more stupidity? At what he's saying, try looking at a little bit more uglier by what you're saying. So some folks don't agree with you, but travel.
No shit. I mean, I'm in retard land. You know what I mean? I'm in dum-dum land. I try so hard. And you know what?
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, and you are the biggest dum-dum of all of them, Traveler.
Travelman.
Seriously.
Okay, Travelman.
Man, how you doing?
You are way too old to be as dumb as you are.
All right, because you say, hey, hold on a minute, dude. Hold on a minute. Okay, now you up here in Tim's ass. Okay, how nobody he didn't serve in the military and all this, that,
is that what?
The other.
He served. Let him speak.
And where you've been, and where you've been, and talking all this crazy ass stuff. Half the stuff you're saying don't make any sense at all. Yes, Trump. Every president pardoned people, but no president has pardoned a head of a drug trafficking ring that was extradited to the United States and put in prison. That was the former president of a country.
Hold on. Travelman. Hold on. Hang on 1 second. Hold on. The app took they took him out, and I don't know why. They actually took him out. He didn't drop. They took him out. You're welcome to come back anytime, Straight Talk. He got taken down by the app. He didn't run. He did not run. I was advised that he was taken out. So he did not run, at least not according to TikTok. So Travelman, if you're out there, you but go ahead and address him anyway, Travelman.
Well, 90% of the stuff he was saying makes absolutely no sense at all. Everybody, they keep trying to make excuses for Trump. Everybody pardon people.
He pardoned the doggone guy, the Bitcoin guy that had been convicted. He pardoned the doggone drug trafficker. He pardoned all the doggone January 6 people, of which some of them are now committing crimes and going back to prison. I mean, come on. Hey, well, he pardoned it. Biden pardoned his son. Number one, Biden's son was a private citizen. They went after this dude for 4 years trying to destroy his life. If Biden had not pardoned him and all the members of the January 6th committee, Trump was going to send the DOJ after him, just like he did all these other retribution cases.
He lost me on that. I mean, Trump literally told Sean Hannity that he would be the president of retribution. It's pretty clear
he
that
said,
what Trump, he
said,
that.
I am your retribution.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. That's what he said.
Well, Straight Talk is in the comments saying that every single president does that.
Straight Talk has a severe case of head up Trump's ass syndrome, and he might need to go down to urgent care and get that spinal muscle extraction procedure done so he can see and quit smelling shit. Because it's affecting his thought pattern.
Now, both of you individuals have served, because Straight Talk was hammering me on the fact that I have not served. Did he say anything that did not sound accurate for someone that has served? Because he was adamant that I was being critical or insulting to him as a veteran.
Okay. Look down in the chat and see how many veterans agree with him. He's an idiot. He's a Trumper. He served 8 years. I served 20. I served in the Marine Corps, in the Navy. And I went to the Marine Corps in 1976, 1 year after Vietnam, when they were still bouncing people off the racks and putting their hands on you.
Damn.
Okay?
Him being MAGA doesn't take away from him being a vet. You can be a veteran and still be MAGA, right?
Hey, if you stupid enough to be MAGA, after this man, what he does for the military, he actually took money. With his last term, he actually took money from the construction budget and from the defense budget. Part of it was construction and stuff and training. He took that money, he redirected it to use to build a wall that Mexico was supposed to pay for. Yeah,
but look what he's doing now, though, Travelman. I mean, you got to think. Okay, he's seeking $1 trillion for the military. So for folks who are in the military, he is sending a lot of money your way.
Tim, why do we need $1.5 trillion?
I mean, that's a legitimate question to ask, but if you're in the military, this guy's trying to send you a windfall. I get your.
We're not gonna see it. They're not gonna give active duty a 25% pay raise or anything that. No. They're not gonna see any of that, man. No. That's that. He trying to build a golden dome and all that other crap he's trying to do. We got $1.5 trillion budget. I think this year the budget is what, $750 billion.
Well,
now we're gonna go from 750 to 1.5 trillion.
But what about the notion that if he does bring that kind of money, and you mentioned the Golden Dome and things like that, would that not make this country more safer?
They haven't even came up with to say that what he wants to do will actually work. He's talking theoretically.
Yeah,
that's what he's talking about. It's kind of like that thing Reagan talked about back in the 80s. Reagan talked about something like a golden dome back in the 80s.
The problem is
Trump has never served. Okay, nobody in his family has served. His sons would not serve. All he's trying to do is use the military and photo ops, and also to go and get the planes and shit shot down. Okay, and for a straight talk, I've seen planes go down on an aircraft carrier. We sitting there watching a plane come into land, and it just went straight down into the Mediterranean.
Did he survive?
You know, and then we're sitting in the chow hall eating, and here they come rolling through with the body bags.
Oh,
so he's full of crap, man. It's people like him. I don't even see how a veteran can even go for somebody like him. He's a freaking draft dodger. If he was in my neighborhood, we would tell him, get out of here with your punk ass. Bro, you grew up in Chicago. Ain't that what they would tell him?
Likely, but he would. But he's not gonna hang with the brothers anyway. So that ain't something that would happen.
But that is true. You know, I mean, it's pathetic, man. The whole damn. Oh, bro, come on, Tim. Come on. He talking about what this dude has done. Look at what he's done.
Bro.
He gutted the FBI. He took out the top level of the FBI. Anybody that has experience with it. Okay, in the FBI, you got the director, right? And the director does all the big things that they do. The person that actually runs the FBI is the second in command. He's the one that actually runs the FBI. That's why it's always a career person.
You talking about wasn't that Bongino in that position?
Bongino.
Yeah.
Yes. How long did he last?
But obviously not long. He's been gone for a few months already.
Everybody can do the job when they're riding in the passenger seat. But when your ass got to drive, you see how hard it is. He gutted the DOJ. All the lawyers are gone from the DOJ, especially the ones in Minneapolis. They all gone.
Why do you think he did that? Why do you believe he did that?
Anybody with the FBI or DOJ that worked on any case that pertained to Trump, they got rid of them. It doesn't matter how minuscule their participation was. They got rid of all of them. You know, then he went in there and got rid of the doggone generals and the admirals. They don't even know what the hell they doing. Come on, man.
Well, that's going to end up leading to what congressional testimony once the Democrats get it. I do got to move it on. Unfortunately, you weren't able to spar with him and address him directly because of what happened with the app. But they're most likely the folks that he got rid of that were involved in investigations of him or maybe investigations of Elon Musk companies and stuff like that. Once the Democrats are back in power, folks are going to be testifying everywhere. That's going to likely happen because if they got fired for retribution as opposed to anything related to their job, there may be avenues that they can make claims, whether monetarily or something else. But if you fired them just because they were doing their job investigating you, that probably ain't going to end up going well once they're able to testify. Are you there? I'll move it on. Apparently you're breaking up. Yeah, your signal's breaking up. Travelman, thank you for coming through. Towards the end, I had to drop you. Your signal really got bad. But looking in the comments, midterms, y'all, says Glenn Diesel, we all need to show up. Yeah, I mean, we all need to show up at every midterm, but this one will be big, I'm assuming. Going to the box. We'll go straight on into Dencal over on Instagram. By the way, we do take callers on Instagram and Substack as well. Dencal. Now, Dencal's also full ride military. Dencal, good evening. Welcome to the program. Now, your name came up a few times. Good evening. Yeah. So, did you hear anything you disagreed with?
Oh, it was so much. I really take offense to Straight Talk acting like he can speak for all veterans and saying you being disrespectful. We fought for your ability to say what you believe. You got the freedom of speech. We didn't fight for your.
Say that again. I heard that we fought for freedom of speech. What was the rest of that? I don't know if we.
Yeah, I got a bad connection.
Yeah. All right. Well, we may have to move it on, Dencal. It does appear that you have a bad connection. If so, we'll just move it on. We'll go to the box here. What does that say? Thanks, Tim. Says Travelman. You're welcome anytime, man. I appreciate it. Looking in the comments, and I got something was said that was so critical. It caused me to break my spectacles. Sticky. Now, what is your TikTok handle?
Hey, listen, just Stick the Ruler, man.
Stick the Ruler. There we go. Not Sticky. Stick the Ruler. Good evening. Straight Talk came in and moved the crowd, as Eric B. and Rakim would say. Did you hear it? Did you hear him in here?
Man, the crowd didn't go nowhere. They all passed out. I don't understand. I get it. He is a shock and awe. You know, I'm gonna just say that. I've learned to know him very well, and I'll just say this. Oh man, because at this point, it's hard to even. Why would I take myself and go against the grain? I'm just really like don't even want to actually.
But let's be clear. There is a lot of. I mean, listen, for all of the ways some of you folks on the left may view Straight Talk, a lot of folks agree with him that Trump is doing a good job in trying to keep the country safe.
No, he's not doing a good job. He did not speak for all veterans when he told you that statement. I want you to look up any conflict and tell me, and within the first 3 weeks, how much equipment we lost. Was this the most? I mean, like I've never heard of so many incidents that we've been having in combat history.
Well, other than this, wait a minute. Well, why you do raise a good point because they bombed a lot of bases. We lost the E-3 Sentry aircraft. That's a pretty expensive aircraft with the radar dome on top. That is a really good point you raised there. We've only been in this conflict with them for about 6 weeks, and we've lost 4 aircraft already. That's significant for what is supposed to be an excursion.
We've lost 7.
We've lost 7 aircraft?
It was 3 over Kuwait. Remember they?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, and he snitched on himself when he said he didn't tell anybody. So what that tells me is common sense. When they flew over Kuwait, they didn't know because Trump and his administration didn't tell anybody. So they took it as shit. That might be Iran trying to come at us. And then boom, 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 pop the ball. That's how shit goes when you don't tell people shit.
That's a good point. We have lost a lot of equipment in a very short period of time dealing with Iran. Now, I mean, obviously, Iran has lost a lot of shit too, but that is a good point that for a country that is supposed to have been dilapidated, obliterated, and, an easy pushover, they've taken out a lot of shit because a lot of our military bases, they haven't told you a lot about, but I heard that all of the military, just about, I think like 13 bases have been rendered uninhabitable by Iranian drones, 13 U.S. military bases.
Yeah. The whole thing of it is this. You started some shit. You thought that you was going to be able to play tough guy. I told you, this is like the Revenge of the Nerds movies. You got the capitalism thing. My bad, not the capitalism. Let me take that back. Sorry, y'all. The alpha betas, right? That's what they were. The alpha betas. They just wore capital red and white. My bad, but they were the alpha betas against the lambda, right? And they were jocks. The betas, the alpha betas were jocks, and they just knew that just because they looked a certain way and because they acted a certain way, that everybody just liked them. This is MAGA. This is the head of MAGA, which is Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, and all of them. That's why I say, at this point, even some of the Democrats, the liberals, they're still looking for that white female Christian. Okay, Gavin Newsom. I'm gonna keep saying it. Gavin Newsom. When you look at
I hear you, but when you hear the financially dilapidated state of California, the homelessness, the crime, does he really have a chance? Does this man really have a chance?
He really has a chance. And number one, Gavin Newsom didn't have California with the fires. That's been before Arnold Schwarzenegger. But when it comes down to homelessness, why don't you look up Arnold Schwarzenegger and how it built up under his regime? How about that? Yeah, y'all want to hear that.
Well, I'll just say this. The Republicans have done it, particularly Trump, and Trump does this better than nobody else. He has really scarred the image of Gavin Newsom. Trump is really good at scarring images and branding names, Gavin Newsom and stuff like that. I don't know. You think Gavin Newsom can pull it off?
I like that you just said that because didn't Trump call him the president too?
Did he call Newsom the president?
Yeah. He said president.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom, you know, he was up there. Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
He said that shit.
I mean, they don't really. I mean, what about the governor of Pennsylvania? What is that guy's name? And the governor of Kentucky too. I mean, you really think that Gavin Newsom can pull it off?
Listen, Tim, he's got the right complexion.
Right?
Yeah. He's got the right look in the sense of, you know, he's like a Bill Clinton mixed with a what's your boy? That's
Not Kennedy.
No, not Kennedy. Pete Hegseth. It's the look. It's the look. It's no more than an alpha beta. They're going for looks, right? He looks like he can walk back and forth like the Wolf of Wall Street doing telemarketing.
He does look like he does have the look. Women love his ass. They really liked Bill Clinton's look. They really like John Kennedy's look. Yeah, the look matters.
So with that being said, the thing that Pete Hegseth don't have is a wife. The thing Gavin has is a wife. The thing Gavin has is a real big horn that can say, I'm also Christian and I believe in this and I believe in that. And once that is said, right, they go to digging and looking for some, especially on the Democratic side. We definitely gonna look into see. And then when they find out what they need to see, because they already got the visuals, now they got the full package.
I think
he's going to be the LeBron James of the Democratic Party.
I'm not as for sure about Gavin Newsom as you are, but if there is one thing I will say Gavin Newsom has going for him is he's not running against Trump. He's running against J.D. Vance or he's running against Rubio, and none of them are Trump.
Well, that because he can be petty just like Trump. He can talk about.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's not going to be that type of race.
Well, let me tell you why I'm saying that. The reason I'm saying that is because Trump has the love and adoration of the Republican Party that is far greater than whoever replaces him will be. So once Trump is replaced by Vance or replaced by Rubio or Ted Cruz or whoever, that person is not going to be as strong for a Republican leader as Trump was, because you have folks that are willing to take a bullet for Trump. Ain't nobody going to say no shit like that about J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio. So Gavin Newsom will be facing a weaker challenger from the Republican Party than Trump.
I mean, I can guarantee you, yes, because nobody has a cultish, following like Trump in the Republican Party. But the whole thing of it is, really, it don't really matter who they have on the Republican side. Nobody is really likable because everybody has said bad things about Trump. And once Trump is out of the way, it's just going to be, we got these happy politicians again. You get what I'm saying? He's not going to be relevant anymore. So at the end of the day, even down here, Byron Jones, he's running for governor. He's the only one I've seen, only because everybody's saying Trump, Trump, Trump. Well, Mar-a-Lago, didn't it turn blue?
Yeah. But what about this in the comments? Speed Trainer, what if she runs? What say you?
I would say if she runs, we would have a primary. I think that she would fare out as one of the top candidates, maybe top 3, right?
So you don't even think among the Democrats she would win?
Well, I would just say I'm not going to say that. I would just say it would be a primary. This time it would actually be a primary. And if Gavin Newsom is in it, I'm sorry, he's going to win.
What about you? What about you yourself, Stick? A well-polished white man like Gavin Newsom, you mentioned the alpha beta, and he's running against her. Where is your vote going?
Well, in the primary, it would probably be for Ms. Harris.
Okay. So you would pick Harris over Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What is the guy's name? The governor. Is there? Would you pick Harris over most other Democrat contenders?
Like I said, she top 3. But see,
who are the other two? Who are the other two?
Let me see. I said Gavin Newsom, Miss Harris, and then I'm trying to think of one of them that actually wants to be president.
So you're picking Harris over Gavin Newsom. I'm wondering who the other one is. Would you pick Harris over that person? Sound to me like you're saying Kamala Harris. Sound to me like you saying Kamala Harris should run again.
Yeah, listen, in the primary, I'm picking her. In the Democratic primary, I'm picking her. Like, let's say she gets the nominee. Good, great. I'm going again as the presidential candidate, right? I'm picking her.
How about this? In the comments, anonymous user says she is fake. He says, I'm a Democrat, but Harris is just not genuine. What say you?
I mean, what do you mean she's not genuine? I'm trying to figure out.
The laugh, her demeanor.
First of all, she pledged. Second of all, she was a lawyer, prosecutor slash what is it called? Attorney General of California.
Attorney General district. She was a district attorney. Then she was the AG of California. Then a senator.
And then she was
senator.
Vice president and senator.
Yeah,
senator and vice president. So like her resume, it speaks for itself. I don't even think I even have to take a second guess. I believe her resume at this point is better than Gavin Newsom. So she's a better choice. See, that's just the thing of it. It ain't about her being a woman with me. It ain't about her being African American or Jamaican or whatever you want to call her, or even Indian. It's not about.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you where the she is not genuine, I believe, comes from. Because I see in the comments, Luis Miguel says that is not a Democrat talking like that about Harris, says she's not genuine. I think particularly first of all, I think that, Trump has been able to brand her, so they made it sound like her laugh was false and made up. I don't know. I'm not even going to go down that road. But I will say with African Americans in particular, having a Caucasian spouse will make some African Americans look at you differently. And the fact that she has a white husband, you're going to have some African Americans that are not going to favor that. And you're going to have some whites that are not going to favor the interracial marriage. That alone can make them suggest she's not genuine. Also, they're going after her for her heritage, being part Indian and part Jamaican, which to me is irrelevant because in America, she should be considered as black. But I'm just telling you, they don't see her as authentic. She don't come across like Michelle Obama, who you have this feeling she was born and raised in the hood. She oozes hood. Kamala Harris don't come across that way.
Listen. So you want my third pick to be who? Jasmine Crockett?
I'm asking.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
No. Your third pick could be Fetterman.
No. We gonna stick on this because y'all trying to make it sound like she needs to sound like Jasmine Crockett for the black folks to actually pay attention, and that's a damn lie. Because Jasmine Crockett is one of the most educated goddamn House of Representatives that ever been in the damn Texas goddamn House of Representatives. So at the end of the day, just because she had to go off on another Karen at the time, don't make her anything other than I'm gonna straighten your ass.
But she's still
sounds good, then so be it.
I just think
good at anybody any kind of way and expect them to come at you like, oh boo boo, I'm sorry, I just took it the wrong way. No, fuck that.
Here's what I mean.
Whatever she called her ass, yeah, no.
Here's what I mean, and I'm going to say this coming as a black man, because I know a lot of my viewers on TikTok right now are pissed off me saying that Michelle Obama oozes hood. What I'm saying is, if Michelle Obama was in a Church's Chicken or whatever, if she in a restaurant with you in an all black neighborhood, she don't come across as somebody uppity or she sounds like somebody who was just hanging around the neighborhood. She fits right in. Now she's highly educated, so I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. But what I'm saying is, unlike Michelle Obama or Jasmine Crockett, Kamala Harris feels differently. In the hood, she sounds different than the average black woman talking in the hood. Jasmine Crockett and Michelle Obama, they sound natural. They sound like what you would expect to hear.
But what you don't understand is when you're in legal. Don't get it twisted. We've been bilingual for a long time, but we're bilingual in maybe.
Hold on 1 second. Here, I couldn't get it out right. J Real 75 said it perfectly. He said she can't code switch. Kind of like a lot of African Americans in professional settings say they always have two voices. Jasmine Crockett don't have the other voice. That's a great point. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, and I can understand that, but what y'all got to understand is when you're in a courtroom all the time.
Jasmine Crockett is a partner at a law firm.
I hear you, but I guarantee you, she don't have to have that type of personality in a courtroom. She acts totally different in a courtroom versus somebody's coming at her that's allowed to come at her. So she's allowed to come back at them the same way they came at her. Even though they're both supposed to be senators, even though they're both supposed to be, whatever, they're both out of pocket. So you can't be mad when a person is actually not out of pocket, they're talking to you regular, they know how to code switch, but then you jump bad, you jump into your Karen shit, she jumps into her, okay, boo-boo. You're not gonna come at me like that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying somewhat, but I'm just simply saying, if back in the day, if I had a substitute teacher and it was Michelle Obama or Jasmine Crockett, they would feel different than if my substitute teacher was Kamala Harris. It's just the way she talks. She don't have the code switching abilities that one of my guests on TikTok pointed out. She sounds like she is always in that professional voice. She don't have the other voice that she would have been taught in the hood. She don't seem to have that.
I'm gonna tell you what she did, and it just like what happened with Joe Biden when he started actually talking and understanding Barack Obama. They got they're the most well-spoken black man ever. Whatever Joe said. Don't give me to twist his words up, but in other words, he didn't know we was out there. Let's just say it like that, right? So same thing with her. She why try to change it? She was in college. She was in a sorority. She was a lawyer. Like, why does she have to change? Why do we have to hear her talk?
Because listen.
She don't know how to.
Because your job is to sell yourself to people. Just like a lot of African Americans in professional settings where they deal with a diverse clientele, they have to hold on. Hang on. If you from the hood and you answering phones and you talking to white clients, well, why should I have to change my voice? Because they're not gonna keep your ass here. If you are a politician and you're trying to get white votes, I'm just telling you, you're gonna have to use that other voice that Kamala Harris does. I'm just telling you.
Listen, this is bullshit, and I'm gonna tell you why it's bullshit. Trump ain't never sounded like anybody that went to Harvard. He ain't never sounded like anybody that went to law school. He ain't never sounded like anybody that even knew anything about fucking business. The way he is doing now, as far as the fucking commander-in-chief, is abysmal. The shit
his reputation precedes him. Trump's reputation precedes him. He don't necessarily. He's like Strong J. He don't.
Trump is a fucking quagmire disaster that needs to fucking just go on and take his last Big Mac. I'm just being honest. The cables need to speed up the process. Shit needs to happen. Because at this point, that's all we can pray for. We can only pray that, maybe, you know what? No. I want to clear that. Look, our head of state, I don't give a damn. The same thing that they did to them.
Wait, are you rooting for our enemy?
I'm rooting for them to focus their energy towards the people that did the same thing to you. They didn't go after the little man like me in the streets. They didn't go for the veteran like me in the streets. They went straight for the head of your civil,
So you want, just like we took out the Ayatollah and the head of their government, you're rooting for the Iranians to take out the head of American government.
I want them to focus their energy where it needs to be focused on, and that's the people that unalive all of your head of state. So all of our head of states, especially the ones that are for it, especially the ones that...
You can't say it, Stick. You can't say that. You can't.
Hey, hold on. Yes, I can, because we're on Instagram. Damn TikTok. Fuck you.
You cannot root for the enemy to take out the head of our government. That's unpatriotic.
No. It's very patriotic. I'm saving all the U.S. citizens from this bullshit. The same thing that they did to their government, they need to do to ours, and that frees us up. That means I don't have to worry about a Big Mac. That means I don't have to worry about somebody hiding at Mar-a-Lago with the bushes. I don't have to worry about somebody climbing on top of the building and ricocheting with a goddamn fiberglass and hit his ear. I don't got to worry about none of that.
I cannot condone or agree. I gotta move it on, Stick, but I don't want Iran to take out the head of our government like we did to theirs. Stick, thanks for coming through. No. I gotta go. Go ahead and drop. We'll finish it on the next conversation. That is bloody awful. Stick, thanks for coming through. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 80,000. Wow, I see in the comments some folks did agree with him. I cannot agree. I cannot condone wishing for the Iranian government to take out the head of ours. I don't totally support what our government did. No, I cannot condone. I can't support that. I'm just going to say it that way. And I see there's a bunch of folks in the comments. How many of you folks agree with him? Agree or disagree with that shit? Type in the comments, agree or disagree. I'm amazed at how many folks I'm seeing that I agree with that. And he says, I cannot believe you've been sitting here saying this shit, Tim. What am I saying that's so wrong? What am I saying that's so wrong? Let me know. Let me go back to the box. Tamara says I get what he said. I don't know. How many folks agree with what my caller said? You're hoping or you support or you want the Iranian government to do to our government what we did to the head of their government, which would probably mean Trump, Vance, Rubio, Hegseth, whoever replaces Pam Bondi. I mean, we took out the whole head of their government. Not to mention it would include probably Melania, because we took out the guy's wife, Melania, Don, Eric, Barron, Ivanka. You really want the Iranians to do that? Jesus Christ. I can't wish something that horrible. I can't wish that. But I am going to get back to the show, and thank you folks that are tapping the screen. We should be around 80,000. Tap the screen, get the likes back up. John Luke says, all period. No. It is amazing at how many of you folks agree. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Tim is compromised, says John. I am not compromised. I'm still a patriot to some degree. I don't wish for the head of my government to be wiped out by the enemy. And Cardinal, I'm going to repeat the words of the bystander that was witnessing the death of Renee Nicole Good. Because you say that, what his comment, you say that now that would be a Good Friday. Taking out the head of our government. You say that would be a Good Friday. Shame, shame, shame. You heard that last yelled out in Minnesota when Renee Nicole Good lost her life. Shame, shame, shame for you to suggest that taking out the head of our government would be a Good Friday. Yeah, you guys really hate this. You guys really hate this administration, huh? Damn. Tap the screen for our viewers on YouTube. I need you guys to smash that like button. Helps out the algorithm. I say it all the time. We're gonna keep our promise that this is still a MAGA friendly program, even though some of my folks are wishing the worst on my head of MAGA. But tap the screen, get the likes on up. It's a free speech program. Evil B Babu says, "Can Straight Talk? Can you be?" Oh, I saw that already. I want to make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Evil says, "Parents, boys and girls, this is the time of monster that you don't want underneath. Oh, this is the kind of monster that you don't want underneath your bed. Is the most craziest monster out there." Who were you referring to? I'm late reading that one, but I want to know who is the monster you're suggesting. Denkel, don't speak for all veterans, jackass. You were talking to Straight Talk. There goes the racist in him when he suggested that I had been out selling crack. Denkel, I apologize for being late, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Joshua says this guy gives conservatives a real bad name. They call us racist, and this man just validated them. All these are comments that were in regards to Straight Talk. I didn't see that, Joshua. Thank you, though. I didn't see these when they came in. Thank you. Finally, the TikTok app is finally working for the people. Get rid of the... This is when Straight Talk got kicked out by the app. Evo says, "Thank you. Finally, the TikTok app is finally working for the people. Get rid of that crazy moron. This is really a Good Friday now." Oh, my God. Oh, Lord. Straight Talk, did you serve combat? Says, I think he said he was in combat. I'll have to ask him that next time. I believe he said he was. I apologize for missing all of your comments when he was on here. For some reason, it didn't show me those at the time. Anyway, thanks, Diane. Apologies. It's tough to get all the context when you're only seeing letters. You know, yeah, I agree with that. You guys are talking amongst each other. Anyway, wishing that the head of the government be taken out. God damn. Really? Anyway, looking in the comments, she told the truth about what Trump is doing now, using the military on U.S. citizens. She did tell the truth about that. Kamala Harris did suggest that Trump would use the military on U.S. citizens. She did get that right. I actually get hammered for having two different opinions on Kamala Harris. One, suggesting she was not a good candidate. My liberals don't like to hear me say that, particularly some African Americans. My MAGA don't like hearing me say that she was a qualified candidate. In fact, I think Kamala Harris is probably one of the most qualified we've had in a while. And what I mean is you can be a good candidate while not being qualified, because running for president just means being able to sell yourself to the people. I could be a high school dropout, no leadership roles in my entire life. But if I can tell you the shit you want to hear and get you to vote for me, I'm a good candidate. So a good candidate is somebody that can sell themselves to you. A qualified candidate is somebody that has prior experience in leadership. Kamala Harris was highly qualified. I don't think she was a good candidate, though. Skipping shows that are primarily targeted at male audiences while admitting you're losing male audiences made no sense. You're going on The View. You should be on Rogan. You should be in the area where you're losing folks. The folks that are watching The View are going to vote for you anyway. You're not going to lose them. The folks that are watching Rogan don't like you. Them the ones you need to talk to. That's what I'm saying. A good candidate, but I think she was highly qualified. District attorney, state attorney general, U.S. senator, vice president. Her resume looks like a stepping stone right up to the presidency. Highly qualified. But I don't think she was a good candidate in terms of selling herself. Good candidate. That was not a good candidate, but highly qualified. Anyway, let me go back to the box. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap, gold hat, mustache. I haven't seen any of that. I haven't said it, but certainly support the program. She was up against the persuasive con man who lied to his teeth. True. That's why you got to go talk to his audience, not yours. His audience is watching Rogan. his audience despises The View. So if you know what you're up against, you need to talk to those people. She didn't go talk to those people. Even Pete Buttigieg appeared on Fox all the time. When Trump was first running for president, he was on CNN and all of that shit. Go talk to the audience that don't like you, not the ones that do. They're going to vote for you anyway. Let me go back to the box, and we'll go ahead and tackle it with Takesha Bui. Good evening, Takesha. Welcome to the program. Y'all really believe he won fairly, says Tina. Well, he suggests that the Democrats didn't win fairly in 2020. Takesha, good evening.
Hey, the Dow is at 50,000. Everything you said to me, I'm just gonna break out and say the Dow is at 50,000. And then when Pam Bundy said, "Listen, Tim, the reason Straight Talk got taken down because he used the R word."
Yeah,
I heard him when he used it. I said they finna take him down. I knew he was gonna get taken down.
Did not know that. I listen, I get called.
He used the R word. I heard him when he said it. I said they finna take him down, and they did. Yeah, he said it.
I mean, when you land an aircraft, commercial aircraft, you can watch commercial aircraft being landed on YouTube videos. The computer counts down, 500 feet, 400 feet. When it gets below us, it says retard. I mean, it's a word. It's used in other forms. You flame retardant. Why would they?
It's the way he used it, Tim. Stop it, okay?
I'm just saying.
Because I get sick of you doing that. You know exactly how he used it. But listen.
So what do you say? AI has context ability. Okay, all right.
Listen, Tim, let me say this right quick because I'm coughing today. But is this Donald Trump's first term?
Of course not.
Because when they say that the previous presidents didn't do what he's doing right now, was he not a previous president?
That's a good point.
Could he not have done that his first term when he tore that agreement up?
That's a good point.
Could he not have done what he's doing now his first term? Because I hate when they say what previous presidents haven't done when he was the 45th president. He was the previous.
That's a good point.
What's the difference now, Tim?
There is no difference. I can't argue that.
Okay, that's really was my whole point. They need to stop saying that because Donald Trump is not this great man, and we seeing it because he's trying to get out of his own conflict. Keep lying on the phone. Some of the folks ask for a ceasefire, and every time he said they got to come up and correct him and say he lying.
Yeah, he said they begging for a deal.
He trying his best to find a way out of this thing. Now he talking about we ain't got nothing to do with the Strait of Hormuz, the Strait, and the other countries need to go try to get their own stuff because we got plenty. What you just said we was gonna take them through there? Come on now.
Let me ask you this, and I don't disagree with anything you said. His messaging has been horribly inconsistent, but the question is there a way out? How does this end in your opinion?
It gonna end when Iran get ready for it to end, because this show ain't gonna be when we get ready. Look, 2 weeks, just like the infrastructure. 2 weeks, just like the insurance. 2 weeks, everything gonna be in 2 weeks, and we gonna still be there.
So this is going to go down as a stain in our history, according to you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Tim. It's gonna end when Iran get ready for it to end. Because if we just be honest, I'm sorry, I just don't think we this great country. I think that we're very selfish. I think we're entitled. I think we run everybody else. I think we're better than everybody else. And these people are showing us that we're not as great as we think we are. Because these people are hanging on in there with us in this whole conflict, team.
I'll tell you, and I don't disagree with that either, but I'll tell you, this could have been done the way Trump wanted it to be done, in my opinion, more successfully, and that is by not saying fuck the world. I mean, like, you didn't, to start out with NATO, the way you treated them, I mean, like, you got to pick your battles. You can't take on the whole globe simultaneously. I mean, you tariff the entire planet. You're calling the leader of Canada governor. You're saying all kinds of horrible shit about Mexico. NATO ain't shit. Like,
but see, Tim, that's the problem. You got a psycho in office who can't nobody tell what to do because he think he know everything. He said, I know more than the generals. I know more than this person and that person. You cannot tell a psycho narcissist who think they know everything what to do. That's number one. Number two, Tim, you can't have someone who don't even have anything to lose in this conflict. His children aren't over there.
Well, it depends on how the Congress wants to earn the Democrats act. He may have stuff to lose. But in the comments before we continue on, Looky P2Q, I think it said that NATO haven't been doing their job. Well, hold on. Let me just say this. Let's say, for instance, you got your own restaurant and you got 20 employees and none of them are doing their job. You can't fire them all at fucking once. I mean, even if NATO's not doing this job, you got to pick your battles. You get the worst employees out and replace them, and then you start sifting your way through. You can't fire the whole staff at one time. Trump took on the world at one time. You can't do that. That's all I'm saying.
Let me say this. The people that's saying that they didn't like the agreement that President Obama had with Iran don't even know what that agreement said. The only reason they saying that is because Donald Trump said it.
Yeah.
They've never read the agreement, Tim. Apparently, they were following the agreement. He came in and got rid of it because it had Obama's name on it. Just like he did the pandemic handbook, just like he did the pandemic team, just like he wanted to get rid of the Affordable Care Act because it was all done by that black man. That's the only reason we are here now, Tim. If he hadn't tried to erase Obama, we wouldn't be over there fighting in Iran.
So we're dealing with all this shit. Lives are being lost and the economy is hurting just because he had beef with Obama?
It's not beef with Obama because Obama ain't standing Donald Trump. It's him being jealous of Obama. He is jealous.
Why?
Of that man.
Why? There are the love and adoration.
Because he is beloved. Trump is beloved by maniacs. Obama is beloved by lots and lots of people and races. And Tim, the people that love Trump, they don't have common sense. No. You don't even
can't
know,
say
Tim.
that. All MAGA doesn't have common sense.
There are more people than none that like Obama. They might not want to admit it, Tim, but you can see the way their face light up when they see it.
Well, but the amount of adoration coming from Trump supporters is greater.
You got adoration for Trump. They got adoration for Trump. There are less Trump supporters than there are people.
I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying is,
we see the way your forehead wrinkles show up when you talking about Donald Trump. Your head starts gleaming and everything. You got adoration for Donald Trump. We don't.
No, that's just because the lights in here are bright. So
that's that love sweat. That love sweat from Donald Trump that you have, Tim.
Well, let me calm down by reading a comment on YouTube. Mr. G says MAGA ain't shit. And he also says, hold on. He says, if you don't think this is a rich man's game by now, I don't know what to tell you. He says, watch Trump's net worth go from under $2 billion to $7 billion, not a word.
Exactly. This has nothing to do with Trump. Let me tell you what I think, Tim, and I said this on Zeus this morning. I think Trump picked people that had a beef with the United States that don't really care about. Because why would Pete have said allow servicemen now to have their weapons on them while they on base and stuff? You know how many people in the service have PTSD that may just snap and start just taking out people? The stuff they doing makes no sense. It doesn't seem like it's gonna benefit the people of the United States. Handsome, this war is not helping us. It's breaking us. We got to keep going to the grocery store, spending more money. We got to go to the gas station, spend more money. This is not helping the American people at all.
There's got to be a reason. It might be sinister if it's what I'm thinking it is, but I'm not even going to say it because what I'm saying sounds really horrible. But there's got to be a reason why he would arm all of the military like that.
You heard what I said, Tim. He wanted to be catastrophic. I'm telling you. PSS is evil, and they are using the name of God to push their hate and their division and the stuff that they doing, Tim. If he get up there and read one more scripture that really don't have nothing to do with what he doing over there, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna tell Pighead, says, please sit down and don't open your mouth no more. It's getting ridiculous out here in these streets, Tim. There's nothing good happening for us over here. And those same people, Tim, that were complaining and talking about Joe Biden was giving all the money to Ukraine and we don't need to be helping other countries. We need to be worried about the U.S. are now the people that's saying, oh, we're liberating the Iranians. We're so happy he's over there making those people feel better, Tim. Yeah. But when it was Biden giving weapons to Ukraine, it was, we need to mind our own business and worry about the American people. They jump just like Trump jumped. Whenever he jumped, they on his back jumping with him, Tim, and it's getting ridiculous.
I don't know why MAGA is okay with letting Trump do things that they criticize from other people, other than just
you know why. You know why? It's the love and adoration. You know, you feel it when they call his name. You feel the love and adoration, Tim.
You just wrong. You are wrong.
Tim, when you hear Trump name, you just light up. Them cheekbones get just higher and higher. You look like a child that saw Santa Claus on Christmas morning. That's how you act when you see him, Tim.
You are just ripping me a new one. You know something?
Trump.
I think what you're doing.
I'm gonna say Trump. Look at you.
What?
Look at you, Tim.
What
Trump,
you're doing is. You know, the crazy thing is what you're doing is worse than Gangsta Grandma. You ain't even cussing. This is bad. It's not true. It's wrong.
And I'm gonna say this so I can go before I start coughing. Gavin Newsom is finer than cat hair. I would vote for him, baby. If he was running for the border, I would vote for Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is fine. Damn, all he got to do is look at a woman. She'll vote for him whether she's a Republican or not. Everybody don't hate him like you think they do, Tim. We love Gavin.
I didn't say anybody hated Gavin Newsom. I'm just saying he's been branded, and Trump is really good at branding folks.
Let me tell you something. Anybody Trump for, we need to be against. And anybody here against, we need to be for. And it's been proven in these races when he's been endorsing his folks and they've been losing to the Democrats. They are not supporting Trump like they used to. And you'll see it once you open your eyes and come off Fox 6. That's why the Democrats keep winning, because the Republicans are joining in with us, because guess what they are? Tired of Donald Trump. Have a great day, Tim.
Appreciate you coming through. Thank you, Takesha. And I don't glow when I see Trump the way she suggested. That is absolutely not true. Tap the screen, get the likes on up. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap and hat and mustache. A lot of lazy thumbs in here. We should be over the 100,000 hump by now. Let me go to the comment section and make sure I do the supporters justice. This has been a one-sided show. I've been in the box just waiting, says Handsome Conservative. One of my supporters, I did not see you in the box. Looking in the comment section, though. Yeah, the same Gavin that lowered education requirements for Black folks in Cali. Jesus, lady. Well, isn't Trump pretty much getting rid of the Department of Education? I mean, so if you don't vote for Gavin and you vote for the Republican Party, are you going to get anything better out of that? Handsome Conservative. One-sided.
First of all, Trump is getting rid of the Department of Education. That was always a given when he put Linda McMahon in charge. It's not that she's going to be gone. It's that she's there to shut it down, and that's been from the get-go.
Is that do you personally believe that's a good thing to do for America and for America's children?
Absolutely. Look, Tim, honestly, Democrat or Republican, you guys got your own way of teaching your kids in your state. Okay? It should be up to the state of how the schools are run. You cannot dictate something from California over in Tennessee. You can't dictate something from Texas over to Michigan. It doesn't work.
I gotta tell you. Yeah, I gotta tell you, I vehemently disagree with you, and I'll tell you why. People can be educated in California, go through school K through 8 and get their high school diploma, then migrate to Massachusetts somewhere and look for a job. If the educational system is not consistent, There's certain, now listen, if you want to teach people certain things about maybe your state history or something, but there has to be some consistency in education across the country, because you get educated in California, you want to go to college in Florida. And if they, I mean, one state may be teaching you slavery for it, already at the Civil War was about taxation. And then another state may teach you it's about slavery. You got to be consistent. I don't believe that you leave it up to the states entirely.
The problem is when you put the government in charge, not the states. I'm not talking about the governors, okay, Democrat or Republican. But when you put the United States in charge, it changes. Every time there's a Republican, every time there's a Democrat, it changes. You need consistency. Consistency for California kids, consistency for Texas children. You got it can't keep bouncing.
What you do is
when Biden was in office, it was all over the place.
No. What you do is you pass it in a way that it takes a 60 seat majority on the Senate or something to change it, but I believe it should be some federal consistency to education. It should not just be up to the states, because some states may teach you the LGBTQ stuff as a sin, and it shouldn't be. I mean, we know the history of states in this country. If every state gets to teach their children what they believe and nothing else, you're going to have colleges in certain states saying, well, we don't even recognize an education from Alabama, or we don't recognize an education from California with all that blue liberal shit. I mean, you got to have some consistency to it.
Then keep the blue liberal shit in California.
No.
I mean, look. There are some degrees that I was watching some videos today on YouTube. There are some degrees that you would not even believe that they have in college. Shit that they teach these kids that don't have a job. It won't help them in real life. It's crazy.
So
dude.
if the blue states decided we're no longer going to teach our children about the Declaration of Independence, or we're not going to require them stand up for the anthem, you're okay with that?
Not only am I okay with that, I say that we let the blue states form their own country and just go on by.
And that is why
have a nice life.
And that is why I'm not for it, because if you do that, that's exactly what you will start doing, is you'll start dividing the country up like that.
Did I just earn you a galaxy?
Yes, you did.
I got you a galaxy.
I gotta say something, and no disrespect.
Fuck yeah, it's Weezy.
You don't know shit about the education system. You're fucking your own kids over when you take the education system away, because it's really for the disabled kids. It's for the disabled kids. The curriculum, the people, like the books and stuff, is for the states to do. What you teach your kids is for the states. But what they're doing, the education system, is a special education system and all that shit. That's what you're fucking over those kids. Thank you.
You know,
you're not fucking over California. You're fucking over the red states. The kids in the rural areas that don't get into the sports. That's what this federal education system is for. It's to help them, not us, the blue states, you nut.
So are you saying I'm not invited to your barbecue? Is that it?
Hell no.
But I thought you liked chocolate. I'm white chocolate, baby.
No, you're not chocolate. You're uncooked.
Come on, Weezy. Don't be like that. Don't be like that, Weezy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We'll move on up together. Come on, Weezy. We'll move on up together. We can hold hands. We can hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Jim,
I love you, Weezy.
When the white man tells you, I've been waiting for a fucking while, I'll jump. You jump like a hog bitch, like a puppet. I've been waiting for over 2 fucking hours. I am your top getter, and I pay for the shit. And what? See how you don't do that. You don't do that for a black woman, but you do it for the white man, you puppet.
Well, maybe he's a white man in disguise. You don't know. He's probably a Republican.
He drinks bleach too damn much.
First he called me a muppet.
I heard he likes Trump. You see, every time you say
I know
Trump,
he does.
he gets
He
that
likes
wrinkle on his
He
forehead.
likes to
Okay, they took the whole multi-guest assets down because of that conversation. So, unfortunately, that's probably going to end up concluding the live on TikTok because they took that. I'm sure nobody, they may not even be able to hear me on TikTok, but Gangsta Grandma got us taken down once again. And I see folks are saying they can't hear me. I'm going to continue talking to you folks on the other apps, and I'll go back to that just to let them know what happened, but they're not going to be able to do any multi-guests because Gangsta Grandma snapped once again. I got some kind of way to get her to understand you're not going to be able to do that. And we have a successful show. So I'm on here. So I'm back on TikTok, but I'll wait till folks start filtering in because we can't take live guests. She destroyed that. Anyway, I'll look in the comments, but well, she called him all kinds of names. That's why the app has AI, artificial intelligence. They can pick that stuff up. And when you start cussing people out and saying all kinds of shit, they can detect it and they do fuck with the program. Only TikTok does that. The other apps don't do that. It's only TikTok that does that. And oddly enough, I thought when Trump's people purchased the app from China, that they were going to prevent that from happening. But they have not. In fact, TikTok has gotten worse. TikTok has actually gotten worse. So for you folks that are watching on TikTok, Gangsta Grandma's rhetoric got the live guests banned. So you can, I just wanted to come back on before we ended so you could hear me, but you cannot be a live guest because of what happened with her. And because the program is getting close to being over, I'm not even going to start. We do have a backup page. We'll be on that tomorrow, but I'm not going to start it like that. But like I said, she went off and they caught her this time. Looking in the comments, it doesn't matter. And Andy, I do apologize because I was about to bring you up next. I swear to God, I did not expect that to happen. So, Andy, I do want to apologize because I know you were waiting as well. And King Finn, too. I understand free speech, but she's becoming an issue, says Chatty Ash. Yeah, no, and Andy, that's what happened, Andy. When Gangsta Grandma went off like that, they suspended taking live guests. I can try to appeal it, but if not, it'll be gone for a couple of days on this platform. We will continue using TikTok on our backup platform. In fact, I'm on the backup page right now. The Handsome Liberal is my main page. The Handsome Libera minus the final L is the backup page, which is what you guys on TikTok are watching now. But yeah, for now, I cannot have guests on TikTok. When usually Gangsta Grandma, it happens mainly under her because she is pretty passionate and throws around a lot of insults, and they do catch that. Handsome Conservative, that was fun. I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, Conservative, you were waiting, and I did not want that to happen while you were on, but nothing I can do. Who's watching me? Oh, you watching me there? Just Enrique. Good. Thank you. Appreciate you tuning in there. So I'll read a few comments. We can actually still do it that way for a minute, but unfortunately, like I said, it is what it is. Eddie says I wouldn't apologize to him. Well, I didn't want the man. Look, I believe in free speech. It's just that Gangsta Grandma takes it. Like Takesha went off on me in a manner that it wouldn't trigger anything because she uses regular words out of the English dictionary that just tear a hole in you, but there's no swearing in it. You need to tell them to quit reporting Sexy Red. Yeah, I don't know if it's 100% reporting though. You do throw a hell of a lot of insults and cuss words. I mean, you told me you had a bone to pick with look, they pick that stuff out. AI can pick that stuff out. So I'm just simply saying that. Arlita, you said what happened to free speech? Nothing if you ask me, but I can't control the apps. I just can't control what the app is doing. And that's unfortunate because I would rather have the program completely open where people can speak their mind and we can tackle it as it be. Handsome Conservative, enter any chance you could make me and Gangsta Grandma a clip. I would love to save that and play it for my friends. I'll see what I can do. Handsome conservative, you want a clip of you and Gangsta Grandma for that couple minutes? I'll see. Oh my God. Gangsta Grandma, you met your match. He actually enjoyed what you were doing to him, by the way. Jeez. Looking in the comments, she ain't being reported. She's a damn lie, says Cedric Hanging. I don't totally agree with that because I've seen Gangsta Grandma get, because I received censorship notes from, I've seen it happen to her and other guests when they weren't, she hadn't said anything yet. That doesn't apply to today, but I have seen her get banned when she really hadn't said anything. So yeah, people do report too. That absolutely does happen as well. We can try it over here with we'll see if I can bring them back up real quick on Instagram, because we do have the live going on Instagram as well. Timmy Boy, what do you believe in? A liberal that's MAGA friendly? Well, I'm MAGA friendly because I believe that MAGA has the right to free speech, which is why you'll always see me with a MAGA hat behind me, because I want them to know just because the program is titled to Handsome Liberal does not mean you do not have the right to speak. I know a lot of media outlets do not give a fair shake to Republicans, conservatives, or MAGA. They do often ban or censor them. The purpose of the MAGA hat here is to let you know that won't happen to you. Doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. We're going to defend your right to speak as much as I can. And we don't mind if you're critical of anybody on the program, including yours truly. We say it on every broadcast. Our comments go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. So we do let people speak. It's just, unfortunately, when you put folks from all sides of the political spectrum in one place, some folks don't like what they hear. I am happy to have hundreds of folks tune in on most shows, but and I wouldn't turn anybody away, but I do have to say, if you prefer an echo chamber where everybody is, wearing red hats and bashing the left, or everybody is hating on Trump, this ain't your show. We let everybody speak. So you're going to hear people who love Trump, like Straight Talk, who believes his face should be on all four faces of Mount Rushmore. And then other folks who wish Trump an untimely death. I mean, we let people speak. A lot of platforms you go on, you're going to hear one side. You don't get that much of a disparity in it. So if that's what you prefer, one-sided program, then that's not what we do here. Debo says no callers, might as well go find someone's auntie and play hide the eggs. Well, shit, you should be doing that anytime more than listening to me. If you got somebody's auntie out there that's gonna let you hide shit inside of her, you should be there. In fact, let me know where you're at. I might get off of this motherfucker too. Anyway, look at it in the comments. Gangsta has created trouble for this channel, says Diane. I'm trying to work with her. She is right. She's a huge supporter of the channel, but I'm trying to work with her. We don't want to lose the whole damn program. Real quick, Timmy. Oh, I saw that. Because toddler tantrum thunk is a tender. What does that say? I can't even read that. That's so much of a tongue twister. Anyway, looking in the comments briefly here. Don't know what I just did there. There we go. And tap the screen. You still help me out with the likes. It helps out a little bit. But you still love Trump, says John Luke. What do I do to indicate I love or hate the man? What do you mean? Because the crazy thing is, the Democrats think I love Trump. The MAGA folks think I got Trump derangement syndrome. The MAGA folks, I had what is her name? I cannot think of the woman's name. She used to be on the program all the time. She's MAGA. She calls me a Debbie Downer. She says I'm always bashing Trump. What the hell is that? Fancy Prancy. Some of you folks who've been watching me for a while, she used to be in the comments all the time. Fancy Prancy. She's MAGA. She says I'm bashing Trump all the time. So I got some folks who tell me I love the guy. Then some folks who tell me I hate the guy and I got TDS. That's what happens when you're in the middle. Folks want you to be on one side or the other. I'll give them credit. I'll give Trump credit when I think he's doing something right. And I'll give him criticism when I think he's doing something wrong. A lot of folks don't want that to happen. They only want you to be on one side of the aisle. Let's try it out with Kim Madison. What's wild now is that all of a sudden, that's the separation when everybody was like, either you are for or against, but now there's stuff in between. Yeah, we need stuff in between. Kim Madison, good evening.
Yes, me, Gangsta Grandma. Now let me tell you something.
Gangsta Grandma, you're over here on Instagram. Okay, talk to me.
Okay, I never did it, so I'm sorry, okay? But one of your little homies said that he reported me. I got a screenshot saying that. So, you got to do what you got to do because you said you'll do it. You'll block the people that report. I got the evidence.
Send me the evidence. Keep going.
Okay, and I apologize, but I do like that other that white dude. I do like his ugly ass.
Handsome conservative?
Yeah, because he's like a real conservative. You feel what I'm saying? He really is a real one, but he doesn't understand about the federal education system. It's not about the curriculum, what the fuck ever. You know what I'm talking
about. The curriculum.
Yeah, it's not about that. It's about the poor kids. It's about the disabled kids, about autistic kids, and stuff like that. That's what I was trying to say. And yeah, they are reporting because when I got off, it did say that I got reported. It wasn't AI.
Okay, I don't doubt that. You got your share of lovers and haters. You're kind of like who has a song "Lovers and Friends" with Luda on there. Anyway, you got lovers and friends, lovers and haters.
They don't like the truth though. They don't like the truth. That's why the crackers don't like it. Me, they don't. I had to say it too.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. All right. But yeah, listen, at the end of the day, you know me, I don't believe in banning. I would let you say whatever the hell you want to say, but
Tim, on some real shit. I'm sorry if I got you bananas like on a thing because I really don't like doing that. But they all haters. And you know what? The snow roaches, they're mad because we tell the damn truth. That's what it is. They tell the damn truth. You have quit being a puppet on God.
What did I do?
I be talking shit to you because I'm your homie and I know you. I call you a puppet. I call you my,
if you were my homie, I've never had a homie accuse me of sucking white dick so much.
Hey, you be sucking, yes. And you got it coming out, yeah, because you my homie. I keep it 100. But let me tell you something. On some real shit, okay? Your ass needs to quit jumping and laying that white. What's that man with that big ass head? His bald head.
You're talking about Straight Talk Commerce.
I swear to God, I could not get on there because I was going to cuss him out. Don't ever let him call you the R word and shit. Don't ever let him disrespect you like that. I know I would disrespect you, okay?
Well, well, to be honest with you, me and Straight Talk were exchanging. I mean, I was calling him. I was actually insulting him the whole time too. I don't mind the insults. I don't mind that. I was throwing stuff back at him. You may not like the R word. I don't like the R word, whatever. But I do believe in free speech. I don't care about that.
No. See, there's a difference between free speech and there's gonna have a day. Let me tell you something. He's gonna have his consequences with that free speech. I guarantee you, he won't talk to me like that.
And by the way, Gangsta Grandma, he got banned. He actually got took off. They took him off the program for using that.
Good. Let that snow roach tell his little white tears. You feel what I'm saying? See, I'm telling you, don't let him disrespect you like that. I'll come up and I'll defend you and I'll drag him to the pits of fucking hell on God. I will.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we'll leave it at that, and I'll.
You know what, Tim? But I apologize for real, because I am your homie, and I did not mean to get you banned like that. They always come for me. I could be nice, I could be a sweetheart. Like the other day, I was a sweetheart to you. I didn't cuss your ass out. I was high. I was crossfaded. I was being nice.
Are you not high today?
No, I can't be. I'm in a meeting.
we got to get you to. You got to start keeping some pre-conversation gummies with you.
I do. I gotta keep a shot. No, I'm just playing. But I was in a meeting, so I had to.
All
I'm
right.
not professional. But no. But honestly, God, I didn't mean to get you banned. For real. They get me if I don't even talk. I said one word. You know what? So they gotta stop reporting because it's hurting you at the end. It hurts me too. But I don't want your life to be taken down because of it. So you didn't tell these little snow roaches and candy cans to stop reporting. It is free speech, right? If they big enough to whip my ass, tell them to come up and square up with me. They're not.
All right.
But I gotta go, Timmy Tete. I gotta go to my meeting.
Well, thank you for coming on that side and clearing it up. You know you're always welcome on the program. Gangsta Grandma, everybody. Thank you. All right, moving on with the show. I cleared that out. Looking in the comments though, hate speech is not protected. True, that is true. If they recognize like the N-word, for instance, if you use that, it absolutely will get you banned. Frank says, "What the fuck is a snow roach?" You don't want to know. You don't want to know. I love Trump, and he is totally. I love Trump, and he is totally lost it. Huh? What are you saying? Trump has lost it? Who is Trump? I heard he is a good man. That's why he is president. So you're telling me you don't know who the president is? Is that what you're trying to say? That made no sense. I get what you're trying to do, but you actually made yourself not look very intelligent by doing that. Tap the screen, smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. And looking in the comments, your best callers go through TikTok, though. Yeah, but we do have some folks that are willing to go to the other apps, and we can make it work from over there. I'll try and see if I can do that. Handsome conservative. I think handsome conservative. Did he? Oh, you there? Handsome conservative. Good evening.
I'm here.
Hey. So.
Hey. Listen. You heard that, right?
Yeah.
You heard that. She likes me.
Yeah. She thinks you're genuine. Unlike Straight Talk, who thinks you're a bullshit conservative, she thinks you're genuine.
I am genuinely disagreeing with most of the way she thinks, but damn it, I like her too. I can't help it. She's pretty funny.
All right.
She's pretty funny. Look, dude, I wanted to hop on here too just to say I'm sorry. If I had anything to do with you getting fucked up and you losing your life, man, I didn't mean to. I got carried away. I apologize.
No big deal. Like I said, we do have a backup page, and we take live callers on Instagrams. And by the way, Clapper is another app. I don't know how many people have Clapper, but if I have to, I can queue up Clapper. Huh?
You can have up to 7 guests at a time on Clapper.
Yeah.
I've been trying like hell to get you on Clapper.
I've used Clapper, and there was not enough folks on it to justify it, but I would gladly.
Well, can I ask a question? Wouldn't your followers follow you over to Clapper just so they don't have to put up with TikTok kicking your guests? I mean, TikTok's kicking your own guests, your own people. The Democrats are kicking the Democrats, dude.
I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to. I don't know because, first of all, when I come on TikTok, because people use TikTok regularly, it advises them that I'm on there. If I was on Clapper, I would have to probably be on the schedule so they would know. So there's some.
I get a notification every time you post or come on Clapper. I automatically get a notification.
Well, if it gets that bad, I mean, where I have no other choice, I have no other choice. But right now, we got a backup page, and I'm assuming TikTok will be back up in a day or two.
All right. Listen, I just wanted to apologize. Like I said, I couldn't help the white chocolate comment, but I did see you rolling in your chair. I've been waiting to use that one for a while.
Well, Gangsta Grandma likes you, so if she likes you, you're a likable guy. I'll let it go with that. Handsome.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
You have a good night.
You too. And looking in the comments, I see Miguel says, "Never will I use Clapper." Why are you have you used Clapper before? You seem to have a real you seem to have a dislike about the app. Have you used it before and had a bad experience or something? In the comments, where I broke the handle on this glasses. Somebody said something and I snapped my glasses. Where have you been at? I guess that guy who made that comment been under a rock. What comment? Oh, here, let me put these on. He said he knows Trump not love. And I'll say this. One thing I wanted to say to my last guest, Handsome Conservative, about the education thing. I don't agree that the states should individually have the right to control education completely. I mean, there's federal aspects to the country, like I mentioned, the Constitution. I think when you're leaving 8th grade, you have to take a Constitution test, if I'm correct. Some of you folks let me know, but as a Gen Xer, I think in 8th grade we had to take a Constitution test to pass and make it to 9th grade, where you got to know enough about the Constitution. I don't favor letting the states do things only, because states are really, a lot of states can be really different from each other. Like I use the example of Alabama and California are on opposite ends of the scale. California is pretty progressive. Alabama's very far to the right. So, you say they don't do that anymore, Takesha? Okay, fair enough. Well, they should. It's probably why you got so many people who graduate and don't know nothing about the Constitution. You should have to know about that, and the 3 branches of government and all of that shit. Remember, I'm Just a Bill that would come on ABC, the cartoon that was dressed up as a bill, and it would sing Schoolhouse Rock, I think it was called. They should do that, but if they don't, but anyway, if you allow the states to have their own individual, like what they were doing in Oklahoma, where the superintendent of schools was trying to pass a law that required the schools to teach out of the Bible, and they were trying to make it have to be the Trump Bible. The Bible had to have the Constitution included, and Trump is the only one that sells Bibles with the Constitution as part of it. So they literally were trying to force the Trump Bible onto students. I think you need some federal shit in there somewhere. Just do. Otherwise, you can have folks promoting their religion onto students. And we know religion has been historically used for power purposes. Like, I believe folks suggest that abortion, for instance, was not in the original Bible. It never doesn't say anything about abortion, but folks use that. They use religion as the reason why they're against that. Same thing with the LGBTQ lifestyle. If I'm correct, I've heard that was not in the original Bible. Anything about being, gay people and all of that shit. Well, now folks suggest that's a sin. So you can have folks warp religion, and then you're teaching this shit to kids. You're teaching it to students. I think it should be some type of federal standard. Here's the crazy thing, though. The right is okay with states' rights when it comes to education. But when Trump said, I want to nationalize the election and put Republicans in control, they suddenly had no problem with that. So you're going to take the right to vote out of the state's control, but you'll give them the right to education. Go figure. Anyway, thank you, whoever just did that. For the great, appreciate that. 50% of what they say in the comments there. Whiskey Pete is trying to do it to the military. Yeah, I don't believe in forcing religion on anybody, because there's just too many historical examples where it was forced on people solely for power and control. Another thing I would say is this: if God is all knowing, all powerful, shouldn't He already be in your heart? You shouldn't. Man should not need to force that on you, right? You should just grow up knowing Him already. You should grow up feeling Him already. I don't care if you were on an island alone from the time you were born it should just be in you. You should just know of His existence. Somebody shouldn't have to force that on you for you to know about it. If He created the heavens and the earth and put Himself, it should just be in you. That's where I have a problem with it. Is that right there? JPT Farms, and who said that? Alter Ego, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I just think it should be in you. And unfortunately, we do have what we refer to as a spammer. So take care of that. But anyway, looking in the comments, and why is the God of Bible the correct God versus, that's another one. Why is the God of the Bible the correct God versus thousands of them? Every religion teaches you that their God is the only one and true God. That's just part of religion, which is why another reason why I'm not for putting religion in schools, because in America, the majority religion is Christianity. And kids can say the darndest things, as they often say. So the other children are going to probably get ridiculed by the Christian children. Well, see, they're not teaching your religion. That shows your religion is fake. 10 Commandments is on the board. I don't see the Quran up there. I ain't heard them talking about Jehovah. So you're going to have kids chastising and kind of verbally beating up on kids of minority religions because most of the place is going to be about Christianity. So that's another reason why I don't like it. It is in you. You just have to recognize it. Clayton Benefield, I don't know about that. I don't think, I'll give you an example. The slave trade. If they had not brought Africans to this country, them folks would not be Christian. Most of them folks, they had their own religion that was literally threatened, if not beaten out of them. They were not, it was not in them. It had to be forced into them by their captives, or the captors rather. It had to be forced into them. If they had not been brought here, they would not have picked that up. In fact, most indigenous people around the world do not have Christianity in them. When I lived in Australia, the Aborigines, they're not Christian. You go to any of the Pacific Islands where the people, they're not Christian. The natives in Hawaii, they weren't Christian. That religion, as Europeans went around the world, they were putting that religion into the people. If the European colonists and settlers had not arrived to all those places, that religion wouldn't be there. Them folks are picking it up from them because they're not giving them a choice. When they come, they force the people to stop practicing whatever they're practicing, and they have to go with this. And that's how it's spread around. It wasn't in them naturally. I don't know any land where the original inhabitants that were allegedly put there by God, the people that were meant to be in that area, had Christianity in them already. It was not in them. None of the brown and black cultures in particular, none of them were Christian. It was given, it was forced upon them. So go figure, but no, I don't believe it'll be in you. It may be in you to believe in some sort of God or many gods. I think mankind inherently does believe in a higher power. But Jesus and God and the Bible, all that ain't in people. I mean, the Indians, the Native Americans here, they believed in a higher power. They didn't believe in Jesus and all of that, though. They had their own. Most natives believe in something, but it ain't the same as what the colonists and settlers have from England or from Europe put in them. So it's different. Wow, I never would have realized this. Well, I'm just saying, and that's one of the things I've said before in the program is when we defeated the English, we had the Revolutionary War to separate from the English. When the American settlers in this country, in the new country here, when they defeated the English, they didn't want shit to do with England. That's why we don't honor kings and queens anymore, like the other Commonwealth countries. We don't drink a whole lot of tea. We started dropping all of their customs. We don't want shit to do with them when we gained freedom in this country. We don't drink any tea. In fact, they stopped for the first few years after creating this country. They stopped honoring Christmas. They didn't even recognize the holidays from the old country. If you look it up, you'll see that for a while in America, they didn't even honor Christmas. They completely said, fuck those people. Point I'm making is I don't understand when blacks gained freedom, why they didn't do that. Why would you keep your captor's religion? You know this guy didn't have your best interest at heart. I'm surprised why would you keep the religion? I mean, the religion talks about it's okay to enslave and beat you and shit. Like, why would you keep that? I never could understand that. Why would you keep their religion when they clearly did not have your best interest at heart? You think the religion was in you think if they could read from this book, and it's the same book we have today. The Bible ain't changed. It's the same, for the most part, it ain't changed from that era. If they can read from this book and think what they're doing to you is okay and they'll still get into heaven, why do you think that? You want to read from this? These people are reading the same book you are, and they think it's okay to do all this to you. Think you're less than human. I never could understand that. Anyway, whole point of the Department of Education was to prevent racism and discrimination, not to instill education, but to instill fairness. That's why red states are dead last. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying. You're just more clear with it, but that's my fear, is that if you get rid of federal consistency in education, states that have more of a hate-filled agenda are going to pass that on down to their pupils in that state. And I'm not saying they're going to come out and say in school, you must hate this person or this person is less than you. There are subtle ways to do that. You don't come out and just say, let's say, for instance, blacks are inferior to whites. Even if you believe that, you can teach that to children without telling them that directly. A good way to see that, a real world example of that, if you go on YouTube and you type in the DOLL test, the DOLL test, the DOLL test, where they were able to show children a black doll, a white doll, and a Hispanic doll, and just ask them questions. Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the good doll? And the kids already had it in them that the darker the doll, the worse it was. They were subconsciously being told white is good and black is bad. So you don't have to tell them flat out, but you can just show them a lot of good images of one group and a lot of negative images of another one. And the rest will just fall into place. It's like when we came up in the Gen X generation. All your, you watch television in the 70s and all that. Most of the people in professional positions were white. You watch the cop shows, a lot of the bad guys were brown and black. You ain't got to tell nobody anything. They can see that and develop opinions from it. So you can do that to impressionable children as well. Not to mention, they're also hearing shit from their mom and dad at home too. So yeah, so absolutely, I absolutely do believe that you need to have consistency in education. Otherwise, we will go backwards with that. I don't believe you should allow states to just teach whatever, because there are states out there that do not believe in equality. There are states, that still exists to this day. It's not popular to say it, which is why I just suggested you do it in a roundabout way. Anyhow, folks, I do appreciate you guys tuning in and riding with me without us being able to bring up any guests. Tim, you got to stop getting popped. Man, I've been... Dark, I didn't mean for that to happen, though. I did not mean for that to happen. In fact, I'll holler at you for a minute. I didn't mean for that to happen. Like I said, there's nothing I can do about it. What does I say? Think about it. It's having consistency in your education. What happens when they go home? Yeah. But at least if they get education in the schools, they can now grow up and realize maybe what they're being taught at home is inaccurate. But if the school is teaching the same shit that mom and dad is, it almost validates it. Good evening. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can't hear anything. You sound like you're way away from the microphone or something. I don't know what's going on. I can't hear you well enough to make a conversation with you. Yeah. Drop and come back. I'll try to bring you back. Drop and come back and see what happens. Because I can't, just something's wrong there. I want to make sure I didn't miss any comments. Thank you folks that are supporting the program. Exactly, Tim. No religion in schools, just science and facts. That should be worldwide, not just in the U.S. I agree. I agree 100%. I think when you start throwing religion in there, you're going to have problems, because what happens if you're teaching Christianity in schools and a Muslim becomes a member of the school board? And maybe the guy's wearing, maybe the guy or gal is wearing their turban or something and all of a sudden the kids ask about their religion. It could go a million ways. I absolutely don't believe you should have religion. To me, should not be in schools. If you want religion in schools, and send your kid to a school that expressly is, there are Catholic schools. There are schools that do that. But I don't think it should be forced on all children in public schools. There should be a way out of it. So let the public schools do science and facts, like one of my guests said. And if you want to send your kid to a religious school, then let them do that. But don't force it on the kids. What does it say? What the fuck do you mean gay is not for children, like it's a choice? I'm not saying in school. How much are they really teaching kids in school anything about being gay? Okay, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah.
Okay, that's much better. That's much better. Appreciate you holding on. You got a lot going on over there. So what brought you up today? I'm gonna give you the mic. What brought you up?
I can't really hear you. Hold on. Shit. Hold on.
Yeah, you got some. It's something on your end, must be.
There's something wrong with my. Hold up. Oh shit. Hold up.
Thank you, Alter Ego. Appreciate that. Thank you. Alter Ego. Appreciate that. Help your boy out to Hack Mustache Tic Tac Cap Gold. Thank you.
There's something like happening now.
Well, unfortunately, you're gonna have to be probably a listener today, because you got some kind of audio problem going on. So I'm gonna have to drop you, because apparently you got some kind of audio issues going on. But I'll read in the comments here real quick. I blocked not. What does that say, Diane? Good call. Not is a peanut. What do you mean by that? But the gay thing, is that big of an issue? I know the right don't want LGBTQ shit and stuff taught in schools. Have a degree? I haven't heard that. What are they teaching? I mean, look, I suppose in health class, in health class, they teach you, how to put a condom on and how babies and stuff like that are made. I think I had health in 9th grade. In that particular class, I do believe it should be taught, because you're teaching people about sex. But other than that, are they really teaching? Because somebody in the comments was adamant, gay is wrong, it shouldn't be taught. I know the right is not a big fan of the LGBTQ community. They're just not fans of that community. And they don't, anywhere the LGBTQ community appears, they have a problem with it. I don't care if it's a drag queen show, if it's a block party, if it's a pride parade, if they're selling clothes at Target, if a grown person is advertising on an adult beverage. They say they don't hate the gay and trans community, but anywhere they appear, they have a problem with it. So, but I don't know about it being in elementary schools. I'm not aware that it's in schools like that. And I'll tell you in the comments, who said that? Not your again said it's not normal. Perhaps, but there's a lot of things that are not normal. Do you shun everything that's not normal? I mean, an albino kid is not normal. A child with Down syndrome is not normal. I mean, do you want all of that stuff kicked out because it's not normal? Why are you only targeting the LGBTQ community? To some degree, white supremacy is not normal. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that are not normal. Why are you targeting this one community? So this help me out here. Help me understand it. I know why you voted for Trump. You can't see straight. They have extremely detailed and graphic books in school libraries. But this goes back to my same comment about normal versus abnormal. Why you mentioned extremely detailed and graphic books in school libraries. There's books in school libraries that illustrate how sex between a man and woman takes place. Detailed and graphic. You want those? I mean, I'm just being honest with you. There are books in the library that detail some of the atrocities in World War II. Some books may even show you what people look like after being at Auschwitz for several months. Detailed and graphic. Do you want that removed? Why is the LGBTQ community getting targeted is what I'm asking. All of the stuff you're using for why the LGBTQ stuff shouldn't be applies to a bunch of other stuff. It's not normal. It's detailed and graphic. There's a bunch of detailed and graphic shit that can be found in the school library. It's a bunch of abnormal stuff that can be found in schools. Why is this particular group of people being targeted? Let me know. I'm still trying to figure it out. A small amount of people are LGBTQ. They should not be discriminated against. Well, depends on who you ask, Diane, because I see some folks who do want to do that. Who is bringing kids into this other than you? Well, we're talking about schools, and one of my guests is suggesting that gay stuff should not be in schools. I'm just simply saying I don't know if it is or isn't. Let me just say this also. You think schools are the only place your kid is getting educated? Unless you happen to be Amish or fucking Quaker or something, your kid is seeing tons of gay people on Nickelodeon, Disney, TikTok, even the friendly pages on TikTok and YouTube. They everywhere. To the point where they are normal. They every fucking where. So, I mean, what do you think you're going to do? Okay, so he don't learn it in school. He got friends are going to be that way. It's just crazy. I mean, by the time your child 5th, 6th, 7th grade, because that's, by the time you get to be in 3rd or 4th grade, remember when you was kids, you used to write will you be my Valentine's, and you give it to, you already knew probably from kindergarten who you was attracted to. By the time you in 2nd, 3rd grade, people start having little girlfriends and shit. By the time they get in 5th or 6th grade, you're going to know people in your classroom that are gay. Even if you take it completely out of the curriculum and everything. So now they ain't being educated by a professional teacher, author. They're not being educated by professionals about the LGBTQ community, but their gay friends are telling them. So now you got the kids teaching them what it's about. You're not hiding shit from them. You just making it so that they may not be properly educated on it. So now the kids are telling them what they fucking doing. You're not going to taking books that address the LGBTQ community out of schools is not going to stop your child from learning about the LGBTQ community. It's in music. It's every fucking where. It's everywhere at this point. You're just not going to stop that. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, looking in the comments, please talk about Obama's dead chef. I'm not aware of it. Obama's chef passed away? First of all, what's the relevance of that? Was he murdered? I mean, he's his chef. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what the relevance of that is. So then what's your opinion on sex change surgeries and hormones being done on children? I don't believe you should perform I don't believe it should be allowed to perform a sex change surgery on a child. Now, 16 and emancipated, perhaps. But anything under that, I don't think. First of all, is that really happening, though? I know Trump, during his campaign, claimed that you could send your child to school and 3 days later it would come home a girl. But Trump says some wild shit. Trump says crazy stuff. But are children really getting sex change operations? And is this something where we're talking about one is too many, where virtually nobody is doing it, but they found one person in an obscure place and they're making it out to be the whole population of children? I don't know anybody that's had this. I haven't heard the right. You hear about Lincoln Riley. I haven't heard them talking about any child. First of all, can the doctors even do that? Can the doctor give, let's say, a 6th grader a sex change operation? I don't even think that's legal. Even in California and places like that, I don't even think that's legal. This is the same thing. Like I said, Trump because my beloved MAGA, my MAGA view is Trump has the unique ability to get people to believe in anything, because he also stated during the campaign that there were mothers who would give birth, take the baby home, and come back to the hospital the next day and decide with the doctor whether they want to abort it or not. And I had a lot of MAGA echoing that. There's not one person in this country that's ever done that. But MAGA believes it, just like they believe these kids are having sex change operations. Or these folks are eating cats and dogs. Trump is saying these wild things. You send your kid home, send your kid to school, and 3 days later it comes back a girl. First of all, what school holds a kid for 3 straight days? And they believe this stuff. So I don't have a way of addressing that, because that's something that if you put a gun to his head and said, give me an example, he couldn't give you a real world example of that happening. Put it this way. If a kid got sent to school and came back a girl 3 days later, they would be telling you who that happened to. They would find some kid that had the change and is unhappy with it or something. It's not happening. It's not happening. But they make it sound like all over liberal states, kids are getting sex changes and all this shit. I don't know. Like I said, I don't favor allowing a minor to have a sex. I don't favor letting biological males play in sports. I just think it is a issue that the right is blowing up to astronomical proportions that at best represents virtually no one. At best, a handful of people. I mean, there are whole states that may only have one or even less transgender athletes, and they make it sound like these people are everywhere. I don't know, and then I can say about that. Keep watching The View. I watch The View every day. The first 2 segments are political, just like I watch The 5. A lot of my material comes from those shows. That ain't happening. It ain't happening. The 5, I'll tell you something. The 5 leans right. They're not presenting cases of kids getting transgender surgeries. It ain't happening there either. Show me where this is actually happening, and not where you just being told where it's happening. Show me where it's actually happening. Because you can criticize where the left is getting their information, but if you're spouting shit like that, your side deserves criticism too. Show actual evidence. This is just like the whole cats and dogs being eaten. The right was adamantly trying to prove that stuff was true. It's not happening. And if you notice, since Trump became president, if so many cats and dogs have been eaten, what did you do about it once you became president? What was the outcome? Who's been arrested in Springfield, Ohio? You notice you didn't hear nothing else about that? Just made up some shit. And it never followed. Okay, so you want to save all these pets. You're now president. What are you doing to protect the people there? What laws have been passed? Who's been arrested? It just disappeared into thin air. Because that's where it came from. I don't know. Like I said, now we're talking about kids getting transgender surgery while they're in elementary school. Just be making up shit. If you want to hold the liberals accountable for shit that really sounds fucked up, I'm with you. But when you're just making up shit, there's nothing I can do with it. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I appreciate you folks tuning in. Thanks for a lot of you folks on YouTube that smashed that like button. We will be here tomorrow on the main page. So we will be taking callers. We will be taking callers again because the page is open. This one here will be down for a couple of days. We will be taking callers. Bro, look at the study. But look, if the study is written by Trump, it may not be accurate. According to Trump, all of the cats and dogs in Springfield are turning into mills. Who wrote the study? That's what I want to say. Who wrote the fucking study? I gotta go. You guys are cracking me up now. It's your boy. See you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. And real quick in the comments, what does I say? Entertaining today. Good stuff. Appreciate the support at the end like that. I got to see who's I got to put on my damn glasses and see whose name that is, though. Cowboy, appreciate that. Thank you very much. Send your boy off right. Smash that like button in the program, folks. Thank you. I will catch you tomorrow. Hopefully, we don't have any other aircraft get shot down. 3 in one day. 3 aircraft in one day. One being a high-performance F-15. The high-performance F-15 shot down in Iran. With one person, the navigator, still missing. Hopefully, we're just talking about this shit tomorrow and not something new that's like that. It's your boy, Tim and Handsome Liberal. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.